Worldwide collaboration.
Okay. So why is your face on mine? I'm confused.
God, I ain't put my sticker on.
Not funny. Like that's kind of weird.
Uh,
Everybody's here today. Hi, everybody.
hey
Hi.
Regina, how y'all doing?
I'm blessed. If I don't get your picture off of there, blessed gonna be spelled backwards.
It'll be D.
Like what in the heck? I'm confused. First of all, wait a minute. Genie in the bottle. I gotta wake up right now. I don't even think that was true. I am not playing like for real. Well, everybody, hello. I am Regina. I'm a radio host, podcaster, and etc. I do a lot, definitely. And I am a mother first. But definitely, all my kids are grown, so I am deep out of water right now. But definitely I have
I
other
mean,
co-hosts on here, so I'm gonna throw it on down there to Miss Gift Deacon.
Hello. I've got pockets today.
I
I've been putting my
like
hands in my pockets. It's been keeping me out of trouble. Let me put my hands in my pockets.
at all
So
times.
yeah, it's the Gifted Diva, your spiritual prophetess. If you need me, you can find me on my personal Facebook page under Dawn Cole, or switch over to my group page, the Gifted Diva, for all your spiritual needs. I'm giving spiritual confirmations, prophecies, medium, whatever God needs me to do in somebody's life. That's what I'm doing. I'm just a vessel in emotion, allowing God to use me as He wished. And also, I have my own talk show, so y'all make sure y'all tune it in on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2 Central Time, to Gift the Diva. I'm talking about spiritual, everyday topics, living. There's nothing I'm not uncovering and talking about, just with a spiritual twist in a unique way. And it's all fun with the diva. So, if you need me, let me know. I'm here. And remember, I'm a prophet, not a psychic, baby. It's a difference. Please do not get that twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
What's
All
up?
right, let's go on with the other co-host. All right, who is that up there that switched my
this your
face?
boy. I don't know what you're talking about, but
Oh
this
my
is your
God.
My
boy King's.
pockets.
Y'all blows it. It's your boy King's. I'm an A&R podcaster, content creator. I partner with a brand called Genuine Vibes Only. If you're not genuine, stay from around me. Be you, be true, be positive. I'm not telling you not to have a voice, just know when to use it. Not everything in life deserves a response. You're more than enough. Hashtag stay muted.
That
You did
part.
good, King.
All right, we got our special guest down here today.
Ooh.
Marvelous. Can you please announce who you are and what you did? Hey.
Yo, this Burnz from Charleston, South Carolina, man. I'm an artist, up and coming artist, and this interview about to be epic. So everybody might want to pay attention and get your popcorn, get your drinks, cause it's gonna be epic. I promise you.
Get your M&Ms, get your Starburst.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a
Okay.
fact.
Go get your vodka, go get your Hennessy, go
Whatever.
get your tequila,
Yeah.
everything, because it's
I'm
It's,
going
about to go to
down.
the purse.
yeah. It's about to
Make
be a
sure y'all
classic.
eat before y'all drink, because it's about to go down.
Yeah, it's about
It's
to be a
about to
classic.
go up from here, but I damn gonna thank you for coming on my show
No
today.
problem.
I was like, a fan and just like, okay, I got somebody coming to see me. That's a marvelous thing. And I want to thank Miss Wendy too, because she is a big supporter. Boy, I tell you.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
lady, she do. She shares everything. She participate like a team player do, definitely. And I just love Miss Wendy. That's my second person. That's my second queen.
She went
The
hard for
second
you,
person.
man, because she
I
went hard
know.
for you because it was like a person like me. I ain't gonna say like the type of caliber of person I am or like the caliber of like as far as music, but I'm like a lot of people say I'm very hard to reach because I be so busy. And like I told you, like when she first told me about you, you know, I came, I friend request you, then I left. I didn't even went back to Facebook. I didn't even came back over here until she tagged me about a week ago or something like that, and I still didn't came. So I just was like, yo, I had to really come over here and tell her like, yo, you tagging me, I be battling, I be doing verses, I be doing song for song, and you be tagging me, and I be trying to read the notifications. So she was like, yo, you need to lock in with Regina and see if you can get an interview. And I was like, okay, so. I didn't brush it off, but I was like, I. But when I saw you yesterday, I was like, oh, okay, this who she talking about. Let me check her out. So I came in the live and check her out, and I was like, okay, she got a pretty decent podcast. So yeah, so
Thank you.
that's why we
Coming
here.
from somebody that don't know me from nowhere, but definitely it's amazing to sit back
Thank
and
you.
watch and see who you dealing
Yeah,
with too as well. So definitely, I thank you very much
yeah,
for
no
popping
problem.
up on my show.
That's no
It's
problem. That's
amazing.
no problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
come here.
And I was early. I was early. Like I said, I treat this no
You
different from
was.
what I would treat another interview.
Hey y'all. Y'all already know how I am. But yeah, it's always amazing for to do that because you definitely could have went on with the show without me. You know what I mean? Definitely. So, and I appreciate that. I just sit back and watch and see what what y'all talk about. Definitely, I could be a backgrounder.
Sneaking in the background.
That's why I say.
Definitely.
That's why I say. If whatever questions y'all got, I'm ready.
All
So
right. So let me
tell me
get.
about this name Buns. That's what I'm trying to find out. Cause he keep
Burns,
giving me he giving me
It's
Burns,
DMS
Burns. It's
vibes.
not Buns.
Buns.
It's Burns. It's
Burns.
Burns, not a S, but with a Z. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, but yeah, I can't see that. You got these little bitty letters up there, Regina. You know, I wear glasses that I refuse to wear. So
Oh,
uh
mine don't even say his name.
count it against my eyes, don't count it against my heart. Cause you're giving me DMS vibes and I love me some DMS cause he real. And I can tell you real already, so I gotta hear about yourself.
Mm.
Actually,
Where we
to be
started and
honest,
how old are you?
okay, I'm gonna get to that. Let me answer your first question right quick, so you can. Burns is actually Burns is actually my government, just spelled with an S. If you look on my Facebook, it said Joseph Antonio Burns. It just spelled with an S. But what it was, when I started doing music, I had my original name was Legacy, which was already copyrighted, so I couldn't use it. So I was like, okay, why don't I just use my last name, take the S off, put a Z on there, and that way by birthrights, I mean, like it wouldn't been hard for me to either copyright or if I had to change anything later on down the line, it would be nothing but one letter because that's my government. That's my last name of my government. But I'm 46 years old. I just turned 46 in April.
Okay, I'm right behind you.
All right, so I'm right behind. I'm a year younger than you. Hey, little 40 baby.
Oh, so
Let me find out I'm the youngest in the group.
Oh, you
So
are.
that,
that's good. That's
Yes, you are. But
I just
I
turned a
don't
hot
claim
34.
40. I don't claim. I feel like I'm younger than that, but it's all good.
Can't nobody tell me what age is. It's about what's inside the mental.
Yeah, and
yeah,
the heart, the heart,
yeah,
the
that's a fact.
heart.
Y'all rather get your food and be your best and body works.
That's a fact.
Okay, get a couple things and then over outside.
All right, so
I don't want no.
definitely where are you located at?
Well, like I said, I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I moved from Kentucky to Montana to create this project that I'm about to. Anytime my creativity process is, if I'm about to do a project or if I got a project that I'm about to be working on, I isolate myself. I isolate myself from my friends, females. I just isolate myself. So I came out here with my mans out here in Montana to, create my album that I'm about to drop the beginning of next year. So, you know what I mean? So it was just for a whole year and some change. It was just nothing but me uh writing music and just staying creativity.
Hmm.
That's the most important thing, because you can be working on something, you can get sidetracked. You got homeboys want you to go to the club, you got other people want you to do this. So I wanted to block everything out because I wanted to make this project like a good project.
Right. That's smart, definitely. And so that's what you got to do these days, being in this kind of industry too, as well, because you can get unfocused on what you're doing, especially around people that's like partying and doing the significant others that you're not doing. So definitely,
That's a
hands up
fact.
to that, to keep your head on straight and don't let nothing distract you.
Matter of fact, in October, I leave here October 20th to I'm gonna be moving to Atlanta. That probably be my like stationary permanent spot. So I'm moving to ATL to start working. I'm actually recording the album in Atlanta. So I got some heavy top producers on there. I don't wanna give no name out. I don't wanna leak no name, but I got some few producers that y'all know that's already in the industry. I got some few A list artists that's gonna be on there, as well as I got some local artists that are going to be on there from that area and from other different parts of the world, like Philly, New York, Baltimore, Alabama. So it's going to be decent, man. It's going to be real
It's gonna be
decent.
amazing. ATL, that's my hometown. Shout out to the ATL, A Fulton County. You already know
I
Cascade where
mean,
I came
I'm
from.
about to I'm about to put
Yes, that part.
ATL. I'm about to put ATL on fire when I get out there.
Shoot, ATL on fire
That's a fact.
already. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna
for
put that on
real.
fire, yo.
Yeah.
Keep bringing
So
more
when you go
fire.
down there, definitely go to Kings of Diamonds. I love Kings of Diamonds. I do. That's the best spot to be
I'm
at.
looking. I'm looking
You
forward
look
to
like
it.
a queen of diamonds.
I probably, when I get to Atlanta, I ain't really gonna have no leisure time like that. Maybe for the first what, 2 months or something like that. Because as soon as I get off the plane, I gotta go straight to the studio, like straight off the plane.
Yeah, just don't get caught up. That's all I don't want you. I want you to stay focused though, because there's some stuff that can distract you down there, definitely from what you
Nah, not
supposed to
not
be
from.
doing.
Nah, I got a lot of stuff riding on this. I got kids.
Mhm.
I got a lot of, I got a lot of stuff riding on this. So they're not gonna be no distractions. Period.
Okay. Yeah, because if so, then that becomes your fans become your therapist, counselor, and everything else that you need. Because
Yeah.
we need the best to come out of you. That's why we definitely support you to see you,
Appreciate
bro.
I appreciate that every time, and it's crazy because like every time I post something like a song or something on Facebook, I always thank my fans or the people that rock with me for rocking with me, because they ain't really got to rock with me. So that's why I still be getting the support that I do when I go to these different platforms, because I show the appreciation. Because to be
Mhm.
honest with you, the people that rock with you don't have to rock with you. The
Okay.
people that rocks with me, they knew me first before they knew my music. That's how I painted
Mhm.
that picture. Cause see, when you're doing music, or you promoting, or you marketing, you want the fans to know you first. They're gonna
Yeah.
automatically know your music, but they're gonna want to be in tune into what you're doing as a
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
person. And then they're gonna be like, okay, we like him, let's support him. And then that's when your music come into play. A lot of people, a lot of artists got it backwards. They figure like, okay, like I ain't gotta deal with the people. I just put the songs up there. But if you would never interact with the people, or have the people at least feel like they can touch you or
Mhm.
communicate with you, then you're not really gonna go nowhere. Because I wouldn't want to support somebody that I can't communicate with, or I
How
have
you
in the
doing, Wendy?
past. Yeah, you always, as an artist, you always want to be reachable. So you always want to be not reachable. I take that back. You want to be accessible to certain
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, that's true. Because you can get some unfamiliar people that just want to
Yes,
just get the
yes,
fame and screw you
yes,
over and all this other
Mm-hmm.
stuff. You know what I
yes.
mean? And like I say all the time, I am not here for the fame. Okay.
Now,
If I want
I'm
the fame, I will be going harder than I am now, and will be dishing out stuff that I don't even want to get back. So,
listen,
with that being said, I am the realest, and I don't even care about the fame, the numbers, or nothing. All I care about is how my fans and stuff are getting treated, how they getting
that's
talked
a fact.
to, how we gonna have fun, how we gonna stay
That's
on
a
the
fact.
focus, positive mind,
That's a
how
fact.
we can help each other. That's my point of doing this. My point is not doing this because of fame. Fame is not my name. Okay? So
I don't.
definitely I
I
just
don't.
want I'm comfortable. I'm very comfortable of who I am and I want everybody else to be comfortable in their own skin too as well. Cuz it ain't even that serious to be over your head. Definitely it isn't. You know what I mean? So
Right. You're definitely
yeah.
right. I agree with you. I agree with you on that note. Like, I just got, when you got passion for the music, you don't really care. That just like the features that I got for my album. I gave the people who doing the features with me, I gave them the bigger percentage when we did the split sheet. I gave them, and for all y'all who don't know what a split sheet is between two artists that feature on the same song. That's how they negotiate. They negotiate the percentage that if you is a feature or the other person is a feature, y'all drop a split sheet. A split sheet is consist of the percentages, the points. You know how the royalties and everything gonna
Mhm.
go, and y'all get y'all lawyers or whatever to look over it. Y'all get it notarized, and then y'all keep it pushing. But like for all the artists that's featuring on my album, I'm giving them really the bigger portion of the percentage and the royalty because I'm gonna make my money anyway, regardless. So
Right. Say
that's when
that.
you yeah,
Shout out
that's
to
when
you.
Yeah.
yeah, that's when you're doing it. Cause see, most important, what you gotta understand, and what a lot of artists fail to realize, they gotta understand the relationship in music means more to me than the artistry, if that makes sense. Because the artistry gonna always be there, but if you don't have the relationship or build relationship with certain people that you might need relationships with, like
Mhm.
how you gonna get those opportunities to get in those rooms or get in them doors?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you gotta humble yourself.
Fact,
Definitely. You know, humble is being patient, being focused on, faith and what you're doing. Definitely. So um, I'm on top of it. And I know, God will send people to me if He want to, and the good people. So definitely, I'll ask you, do you want to interview or anything like that? And I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna hound you. I'm not gonna go back and be like, okay, well they didn't want. It's okay
see,
because
see,
yeah,
and
it's just
you
they
shouldn't.
saying statements.
Yeah, see, me, I'm not that. I'm very humble, and I don't really like. I feel like I don't have to run down my accolades. Only if people ask, then I might tell them. But I don't really too much run down my accolades. But like, if somebody asks me for a feature or asks me for an interview, I do it. Sometimes I do it. It depends on the person resume, and I really gotta really see the type of environment, because when I first started like doing interviews with people, people be it like some of the hosts used to be arguing with each other, and it was really never no structure. But as a you got to think about it, is the music business or the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Music
Mm-hmm.
business. That means you're gonna have to do interviews. You're gonna have to do features. It's a business, and when people start treating it like a business, then they'll be all right.
Right.
No,
We see
Well,
you, Wendy.
yes, I thank my queen. Yes, honey. Yes, I love my Wendy. I really do.
she
Okay, who else?
cool. I met Wendy. I want to say a couple years ago. Like I
Hmm.
want to say like two. Matter of fact, I met her before I moved out here, and she was making beats for me. And then I think the matter of fact, the track that I sent you, uh, she was supposed to be doing the beat for me for that, but it never happened. So, but I've been knowing her for like 2 years, and she good people though. She
Yes,
oppress you, but she good people. She good people. So
it's good
so
press though. It's some good
yeah,
press. You
yeah,
know what
it's
I
good.
mean? It
So when
ain't even
she
like she's trying to get something out of it or anything, but
Nah,
definitely.
nah. She know she watched me on Instagram for a
Hmm.
while. She see my work. She see what I'm doing. She know what I'm capable of doing, and she know I got a lot of knowledge about just the industry. Period. Just about music. Period. Whether if you formatting a song or you trying to write a hit or you just want to know about the business itself. Because I research. While people arguing and fussing and fighting on Instagram and TikTok, I'm on YouTube researching. I'm
Right,
looking at artists who coming out. I'm looking at labels because I own a label. So I'm looking at labels.
Hmm.
I'm looking at them documentaries and see what they had to do to get their label to be successful, you know?
definitely. So, what is your label called?
Psycho World Records.
Psycho
I
Works.
we I started that. How that came about is maybe like 6 years ago. I was in Augusta, Georgia, and I met this guy, and we was just rapping and whatever. And then he was like, "Yo, I want to introduce you to my man." So when he introduced me to his man's, come to find out, his man had a record label, but the record label wasn't solidified yet officially, meaning like the paperwork wise. So me and the guy talked for maybe about a month, and I was like, "Yo, check this out, man. You got the label, you get the label situated, and I'll pump out the music." So he got his other partner. So each of us dumped a large amount of money into the label, and we got it established at what it is right now. And I did the marketing, the promotion, and the music itself. So I'm like the face of it. Like I'm the only artist, but own it. But I'm like the face of it. I'm like the owner, but the face of it at the same time. So, and
Right.
then from then on, I was branding myself for like 6 years now, just consistently. Cause I used to at one time I used to go to the studio every day. Every day I had to do a song. I was in there recording and I was posting consistently. I was talking my talk, but I was posting consistently because what I wanted to do is grasp the fans first. And my followers, they started off small, and
Like your son.
as I kept as I kept posting, as I kept doing songs and I kept posting, and I kept doing songs, and I kept letting people in a little bit to my personal life so they could really get to know me. And I'll say after like 6 months, they were so used to me to the point that I can drop a face Photoshop and they're going to see what it is. And then I just capitalize off of that.
Well, definitely, you wouldn't be you if it wasn't for the fans. So you got to start from
Exactly.
somewhere. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Definitely. So, I say salute to you, and
Appreciate
definitely, I can't wait to hear your voice. Like, man, you sound like Jada Kiss. I was just telling them earlier. I was like, man, I was on your show last night on my way to work. I'm like, I'm jamming. Like, this dude sound like Jadakiss, Biggie Smalls, and I'm just like, all the music that you was playing was like a New York instrumental,
Yeah, he
and I
worked with
had
the
you.
best of the best.
Yes, and so
it.
I'm
Well,
like, why he sound like a New Yorker though? Like, and you from the
because
South?
like I was explaining to King, you got to remember Charleston. You got to remember South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, New Orleans. back in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't really we didn't really had no down south rapper until like the late 90s. Like back
Yeah.
in the early 90s, I think the most we had was Luke and Ghetto Boy. So when you turn on your MTV Raps, 80% of the rappers and music was coming from New York. So that's all
Right.
you have to go on, to be honest. So that's what influenced me right there, because that's the only music that I really had to listen to outside of listening to Luke or listening to Ghetto Boys. But once the late 90s came and you had like Master P and Cash Money and MJG, 8 Ball and UGK, once those guys started coming out, I was already mold then to like the type of music that I liked it and the type of music that I was doing.
So those was the artists that really inspired you to do what you do. Because definitely,
J
man.
J Nas, Biggie and Pop, the one
Mhm.
inspired me. And the reason why, because if you take all those dudes have one thing in common. They told all those dudes told their story. They deliver it different and had different substance, but they told their story and they were successful at it. Because it's a simple fact that everybody want to hear a story. If I say, Regina, I got something to tell you right now, the first thing you're gonna say is what? You're
Right.
gonna wait for me to run it down to you, whether it's a
Mhm.
story or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So
Definitely.
that's so people like to hear other people trials and tribulations and story, and that what made them successful. That what made DMX successful, and then I took the lyrics side and the poetic side from them, and then I watched DMX, Bob Marley, and people like them to get the stage presence, because and
Mhm.
Busta Rhymes, people like them, they have good stage presence, good breath control, mic control, crowd control. So I studied them guys, and then I studied these guys to make me what I got right now.
So I want to know, how do you become an artist? How do you stand your ground of being an artist? That's my second question.
The first thing you need to do is figure out what you're going to talk about. That's the first thing you're going to do. Because if you don't have nothing to talk about, then I mean, we all know what you're going to write. That just like, for example, when Jeezy first came out, he was talking about drugs, keys, and that. But when he ran out of that, he made a song called he started getting political. But the thing about it is, I tell a lot of artists, if you want to be an artist, practice your craft. Read. There's nothing wrong with reading, because if you don't have, if I buy your album and you talk about dope, ops, and everything on your first album, and then I buy your second album and you talking about the same thing, like, who want to hear that? And we just heard you talk about that 13, 14 songs ago. So I figure if you want to be an artist, first thing you got to do is be authentic and true to yourself. Practice practice the way you write, practice your bars, practice your substance, practice your delivery, and everything else that comes with writing music. And then after that, you market yourself. You post your music or however you market yourself. And you can't sit behind a keyboard all day, every day. You have to do your footwork. Because, see, back
Mhm.
in the days, it was hard because we had the back in the days, the record label was the outlet. If you didn't have a deal, the world didn't know who you was. Period. The record label was the pipeline for the world to hear you. But since
Mhm.
technology and everything changed, you don't have to sell CDs out the back of your trunk no more. You don't have to really sign to a record label to be heard. You can do a song right now from your house, upload it to BMI for free, get it registered, do a subscription with United Master, DistroKid. Submit your music, and they hit one button, and now you all over the world. You on 48, 50, 100 platforms.
Okay.
So see, it's easier now for these guys to be able to become something, and then everybody, we starting to be like rock and roll now. Because you remember back in the days, they was like, well, if you 30, you washed up. If you you wash up. But now it's to the point like everybody and their mama is rapping. So it's really no age demographic on it. If you can do it, you're doing it, you know?
Right.
So that,
Definitely.
because that's how rock and roll and country is. You see them rock and roll and country artists, they like 50, 60 years old and they still on stage with a guitar in a microphone. So I think the culture came a long way. It's a lot of politics that's in the culture that y'all probably have to learn on your own. But I can
Mm-hmm.
say as far as the evolution of the culture, it changed a lot. I could say it definitely changed a lot. So if you're trying to be an artist, study the music, perfect your craft, but also learn the business because it's 90% business and 10% music.
Right.
Example, I'm about to put y'all on game. If I sign an artist for $1 million, right? Just hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
I give them $1 million for their budget, right? That's for their promo, that's for their media run, that's for their video, that's for their single, right? That's for the marketing. They put the album out. Let's say the album's supposed to go triple platinum, but it only sold 70,000 copies. Now you're in the red for 1 million. So as me being a record exec, I could do two things. If I believe in you, I could put more money up or I can drop you. So okay, let's say I believe in you. Okay, technicality first album. Okay, I'm gonna drop you another mil. Go ahead, get back in the studio, get busy. And we do the same routine and you drop your album, and let's say you sell 80, 90, maybe 100,000 copies, and you didn't make the numbers that you're supposed to make. Now, as a record exec, now I got to make a decision. I got an artist that's in the red for $2 million, right? And he ain't even went gold. So what I do? The first thing I'm gonna do is like, yo, this ain't gonna work, man. We tried once, we tried twice. I can't lose another million. So now I drop this artist from the label, right?
Right.
Report him to the IRS, and he go back to his 9 to 5 job. And now the IRS making sure he paying me the $2 million that he was in the red for the rest of his life. And some artists die without even being able to pay all the money back. So that's why I tell artists to read your contracts. Never take money on the front end. Get money on the back end. When you get money on the back end, that means you don't put the work in to get that money. But if you get the money up front, you don't know how the back end is going to turn out. You can't say, okay, you think a record label, if I go to a record label right now and say I'm going platinum and they don't see it, you think they're going to believe it?
Right.
No. That's I tell artists, and that's what y'all want to do. Make sure you read your contracts, practice on your craft, and learn as much as you can about the business.
I definitely say take it to a lawyer. Don't do things on your
Yeah,
own because
that's a fact.
you can like not understand things, or it could be tricky words in a contract and you don't even understand, or you just bypassed it because you seen them numbers. So by seeing them numbers, that means that you're not worth what you feel like you're worth because you're selling really for less because you're so selling your soul definitely to something that you don't even know what's behind that and what I was supposed to come out of that. So you can accept that $1 million if you want to, but how long that $1 million is going to work out and how you going to, get back more than what you have received. You know what I
Now,
mean?
and I didn't mean to cut you off. And
Go ahead.
and situations like that happen, and situations like this happen too. Let's say I sign you for $1 million, right? Let's say, look, I like your first album. I'll give you $1 million for it. Sell it to me for 1 million. Or you from the hood, you ain't never seen that type of money. You'd be like, oh, go ahead, I can make 1,000 albums.
Hmm.
You
Right.
sold your album for 1 million. Now out that million, you have to pay manager, beats, producers, marketing, promo, media run, studio time. Now you probably might be 300,000, right? You might be a little over, maybe a little under 300,000. It's according to how you do your shopping at fall. Because I tell people shopping for beats, marketing, all that stuff is just like you going to the mall and trying to find deals. You find the best deal and you run with it. But now you under 300. 3,000, or you a little over 3,000. Now you look, now 6 months going by, your shit just hit Billboard 100 for the radio. Your shit now headed to 3-time platinum. It went double platinum already, 3-time platinum. Now the only thing you got is, the only thing you can say is that's me. You ain't getting no money for it because you sold it to the label for $1 million. Now they done quadruple the money that they give you. Now they done got that back. And now they got your when you sell your album, you selling your royalties, you selling your masters. And then you have to pay them a percentage if you go do any song if you go do a show and you perform any one of them songs. Remember, they got the contract for that album that you sold them, because that album belongs to them now. Even though your name on it, even though your song's on it, even though you're the artist, you still have to pay them. They still getting money. Every time a radio station play one of those songs, or every time you perform a show, they get money. Why you think the Locks went through so much with Diddy? Because the Locks still had old Diddy, like Diddy had them boys signed into like a 10, 11-year contract. What he did, what labels do, when you go to a label with no money, they're like, look, we're gonna give you this for your publishing and your masters, right? When you start making some money, we're gonna give you advance, because we think you're gonna do good. So we're gonna give you an advance. When you start making some money, then you can buy your publishing and buy your masters back from us, right? Which a lot of artists don't know, like that don't really never happen. Because if you take off and they start seeing money off your publishing and masters, they don't have to sell it back to you. You see what I'm saying? Just because they say they're gonna do it doesn't mean they have to do it. And that's why Jada kissed them. That's why they didn't have the type of money that they needed to fight Puffy on their deal. So they took it to the streets like heavy, and they got out that deal. That just like a lot of artists. That just like with Big was getting, Biggie Smalls was getting, a lot of people thought Biggie Smalls had a lot of money, but he didn't. He was like damn near broke. He was a platinum artist, damn near broke. He was like the biggest rapper in the world. To us, he looked like he had money, but on the inside, he didn't really have no money. And Puffy had his publishing and masters from day one when he signed. Big only signed for 25,000 when he signed with Bad Boys. He only signed for 25,000. So what he did, so he sold his publishing for Ready to Die to Puffy, and Puffy told him he could buy it back. So when he found out that Puffy didn't want to give it to him, he took Charlie Baltimore, Cameron, Junior Mafia, and Little Kim, and he went and got a deal at Aristo for $60 million. But he never lived that long to even land that deal. But the thing, what I'm saying is if you want to become an artist, just make sure your business right and master your craft, man. Pretty much.
Right. So
sorry I drowned it out like that, but I had to.
No, because it's really meant for artists out here to figure, what's going on in their lives. Because definitely, if you can't trust yourself to do something, how can you trust somebody else to do it for you? You know what I mean? And not even that, like, it's just like people out here are getting people in this industry, and the money is just flashing in their eyes just because they don't have it. You know what I mean? So definitely it's money hungry situations out here, and they gonna sell for something that they didn't realize that they were selling for, and who
Exactly.
have their life in their hands. You know what I mean? Because your life is not yours anymore after that.
No,
So, you know,
you're
it's
right.
really
And to piggyback off that, you back in our days, they wasn't putting insurance on rappers. Now, what they doing, they're getting the best rapper in the hood, giving them money, putting $1 million insurance on them, because they already know what the rapper gonna do because he never seen this type of money. Now he going buy cars, jewelry, ball out. He flexing on Instagram, money like this. He flexing. He feel like he on. Now until somebody peel his wig back. Now the label gonna pay for your funeral because after all, they're getting the money back off the insurance that they give you, that they put on you. Plus, they got your publishing and they got your masters, and they ain't trying to give your family a whole lot of money.
Right. And that's true. And
And
I have seen
everybody know, and
I learn
everybody know
something new
that,
every day.
and everybody know that dead rappers sell more than rappers, damn near rappers that are alive. Once you gone, your shit
it.
going up.
Yeah.
So, so I'm gonna ask you a question. How many people dead in two sides? Do you see more CEOs or more executives of record labels dying, or you see the rappers getting killed more?
The
I
rappers.
see the rappers.
Yep.
Exactly. Because that's what it's set up for. Only the smart ones stay alive and be able to make the money that they need to make and do their career. Only the smart ones turn into the Jay-Z and the Dr. Dre's and the Snoop Dogg. All the dumb ones end up they end up dead because that's how the listen, them CEOs, them record labels don't really care about you like that. They're not really going to tell you what they know. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. They know
Mhm.
like $1 million to them is like $100. $1 million to them is like $100. And they already know, oh yeah, he wilding anyway. He gonna be on Instagram throwing up gang signs, flashing money. Oh, we just sit back. We gonna get our money both ways. If he sell platinum, we getting paid because he signed us. If he get shot or killed, we still getting money because we got $1 million insurance policy on him that gonna double when he died. And we got his publishing and we got his master. So the only thing we gotta do is sign him, give him a little bit of money, make him think they make him feel like he on top, and just wait for him to get his nugget knocked. If he don't get his nugget knocked, it's still a win for us because we still gonna get money off him.
Right. Or
So
they
it's
gonna
It's a
go
better
out.
to
win-win situation for them either or.
Hmm.
exactly, exactly, and that's why I tell a lot of artists: if you go independent, there's no middleman. There's no middleman. And
Hmm.
if you go independent, if you got an independent record label and you sign a distribution deal, according to how your numbers looking, you
Right.
always want to have your numbers looking good because when you walk into a label, you want to negotiate.
Hmm.
You want to negotiate. I ain't gonna call the name because I don't want to get flagged and I don't call the name. But I went into this one label when I was real young. I didn't know nothing about a promo or bio or paperwork or nothing. I just went in there with a demo. The guy listened to my demo and threw my demo in the box. I'm looking in the box. You got like 20 something other demos in there. So when I walked out the room and walked in the lobby, I asked the janitor like, where all the boxes with those CDs and stuff in it for? He said, these all the dudes that came into the label and didn't have their paperwork straight. Them people is not going to call you back until you get your paperwork right. And that's when, from that day forward, and I was 21. That day forward, I was like, I need to learn the business.
Yeah.
The music, I can do that later. I need to
Yeah.
learn this business.
Definitely. And
That's,
definitely you have to have a backup more than just music.
yeah, yeah, you definitely do. You definitely do. Like I say, I work, but I also make
Hmm.
money off music. But I work, and I got other ventures that I'm starting off that me working because you gotta spend money in order to make money. You gotta make money to invest in order to see revenue back. And these days in
Hmm.
time, how the
Yeah.
world changing. These days in time, how the world changing. You gotta have. It ain't like back in the 80s and 90s with one income you could take care of a household. Now you need damn near like three thing of revenue to be making in
Hmm.
order to live somewhat comfortably. So
That's true.
I work and I got other revenues that I make money on. So to keep me comfortable until I take off.
Yeah. You
I
taking
want to
off.
tap into this. What's the name of your clothing brand?
Psycho Ward Records, Psycho Ward. I got the sweaters. I'm gonna have the online, the mobile app, the website already up, the mobile
I need
app
to
and everything,
be taking your
everything,
stuff and they're taking
the
your
mobile app and
administration.
everything gonna be up
I just put everything
by
back.
next month.
Hello.
I got prototypes, I got Scullies, I got ball caps, I got trucker hats, I got woman gear. And then on top of that, I got an Asian brand. It's not Psycho War, just an Asian brand that I
Mhm.
created just for the
Okay.
Asians and Koreans and Chinese because I did the smart thing. We ain't the only one like hip hop or like music or like fashion. They're like fashion too. But what I
Yeah.
did, I just created a regular clothing line that looked cool for them to wear with nothing attached to it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Because they are good consumers. They will buy it. They
Mhm.
will buy stuff like that. So
Right. Well, that's amazing. So definitely, that's all for me. I mean, for right now. So Zai, would you like to ask any questions?
How old were you when you first tapped into music?
I was 17 turning 18, and I was just and when I first tapped in, I mean, I've been listening to music like on TV, but as far as me doing it, I didn't start it until like when I was like my senior year or something in high school, and we had a talent show, and I wasn't that good back then, and the guys who was in the group with me was better than me, and I see all the exposure and all the stuff they was getting from the girls, and they was going to the radio station rapping, and everybody was cheering them on, and nobody was paying attention to like what I was saying. Like when my part comes, so I was like, you know what? So I just like, yo, it ain't natural for me. I gotta practice, and that's what I did for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I practice.
You like, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you.
And now
Right.
those guys right now to this day, those guys don't even do music anymore. Like now they all my fans. You see how it worked out?
Right. As it should have.
Yeah.
Definitely, I want to.
Who motivated you?
Uh my mother, my grandmother, rest in peace. My uncles. I had a lot of family. I'm from the South, so I didn't really start really mixing mingling in the streets. I was like 21, 22, stuff like that. But when I was a teenager, and being from the South, it's like very family oriented. You know what I mean? You have to
Mhm.
come in at a certain time. If everybody sit to the table and eat as a family, we have if we have function, all the family coming out, regardless if it's mom side or dad side. So my family motivated me as far as giving me the tools, as far as the morals and the principles that I should stand on, just in life in general. The streets
Yeah.
really taught me. The streets really taught me the competitiveness. If you're gonna be the best, you gotta practice. If you're gonna beat somebody, you gotta do this. You gotta do that. It taught me how to maneuver. It taught me how to conversate with people. It taught me how to use my brains to make this type of move, to make this type of move. Really, the streets taught me how to bring people to me, how to just naturally my aura, my demeanor, bring people to me instead of me having to because I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
never I wasn't never that type of dude. I was always like the little quiet in the cut, like never really talking. But yeah, my family really motivated me a lot. Like my dad, rest in peace. My dad was like my biggest fan. He was like my sidekick. I told my dad, I was like, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper one day. He said, yeah, I know you is. Go out there and cut that grass. So you know what I mean? So it just like I had a lot of support as a teenager. So, I'm not gonna get on here and tell y'all like, yeah, I come from the projects. I had a busted window. I'm walking in a pissy hallways, which it wasn't never like that. I mean, we were more like a mid-class family. We was a mid-class family in the hood, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
My dad had a
What
trailer. driving a Cadillac. We had like flow model TV and color TV and stuff like that, but we were in the hood, but we were a mid-class family.
Down in the trenches. What artist
Yeah.
inspired you?
Uh, Nas. A lot of people say I put them in the mind of Nas and AZ when I rap because most of my songs, and Regina probably can tell you, most of my songs got substance to it. It's gonna have a substance. It's gonna have a storyline. It's gonna have something to paint a picture to let you know what I'm talking about. Because I learned from them guys that people only listen to something they can follow, if that makes sense.
Right.
So yeah,
Have you
those the
ever
guys.
had writer's block? If so, how did you get over it?
Me with writer's block, I take a break. I might take maybe like 1 or 2 days, maybe three, because I remember I was watching this interview and I saw this one producer always used to say, and my producer always used to say that you can't rush hit. If you're making a hit, you can't rush it. You can't rush hits. You got people. I heard Jermaine Dupri said in the interview that some of the songs that he was dropping, he did 5 or 6 years previously because it took him that time. Like that. I don't know if y'all familiar with that Nas song, that Life's a B. That Life's a, I ain't gonna curse, but they say that Life's a B. But the guy who was featured on that song, it was a 6 year develop before we even heard him on that song. So you can't rush a hit. A hit, you can't rush. You can't rush. I always tell people, and this is my motto, you can't rush greatness. You just can't.
I agree.
So you always got to take your time. You never notice like when you rush something, that's when you make the mistake. But when you take your time
Mhm. Think
and
about it.
gradually and gradually
Yeah.
do, that's when you overcome or whatever you're trying to overcome. So if I get in a writer's block, I'll take a break. I take
Mhm.
a break and come back to it. But if I'm doing a feature, I'll drink some coffee, go smoke a cigarette, and then come back and do it because that's money on the line. Like if somebody paying me to do a feature and all my features is guaranteed to come back in 24 hours, that means written, recorded, and sent to you in 24 hours. That's my turnaround time for my features.
Amazing.
And I write every day, so it'll be easy. So like I write so much too, I can listen. If you got a beat or a song, I probably got a verse that's gonna relate to whatever you're talking about. 'Cause that's how much I be writing.
All right, well, go ahead and spit some what we talking about right now.
Talk about me in the interview. So you want me to just talk about myself?
Yeah, or us, the platform, or whatever you want to talk about. Just spit it.
All right. So okay, I'll tell you this. You want me to talk about some gangster stuff and mixing it up with that, or you want me to talk some spiritual stuff, or
Whatever
like,
you feeling.
Yeah.
I yo, Burnz is here, so pay attention when the God's speaking. It's like you sitting in church and I'm the preacher preaching. I visualize, I analyze. See, these niggas demons. I got that food for the soul. That's why these niggas reaching. I'm seeing vivid pictures, but never broken pieces. It's like head on collision, so they do the thesis. I'm trying to give them the blueprint, so I guess I'm teaching. Motivators, turn the haters to leeches. I look a nigga in his eye every time I greet him because that's the soul of a man. It's hard just to see it. I'm intellectual. Most dudes, they're unprofessional. They want to build with a king. That shit is spectacle. I got knowledge and wisdom and understand is what I prophesize. I bring it back 360 because I'm immortalized. I televise right back to the essence. And you wonder why Burnz ain't stressing. I manifest this.
Hey,
You
period.
better say that. You better
That's what I'm
say that.
talking about. Yes, like man, I couldn't even get off. I had to work. I just could not stop listening to him last night for some reason. I'm like, I got to keep on listening to him. It's just that your
Songs.
voice, yes, it
You
just
just straight
sounds
killed that right
yes,
off
Huh?
the
yeah,
dome too.
yeah.
Yeah, that just and And that's how. And what I'm saying is that listening to a verse like that compared to somebody just doing punchlines and metaphors, it's like my verses would look real more sophisticated than what. That's how, and that's how I beat my battles. I beat my battles because I put sophistication and substance on my pen, while they just over there doing punchlines and metaphors, fictional punchlines and metaphors and stuff like that. But I'm talking intelligent and putting some sophistication that shows the growth and the grown man in you when you talk like that, and that's how you talk different.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Everybody can say, I got a gun so long that I can shoot the moon or something like that. Anybody can say that. But when you actually got to put a substance on it, a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people just can't. And I
I
mastered
like
that.
it. Yeah, you did.
I mastered that.
You did.
Like any way you want to go, I could take you. We can go spiritual. We can go female. We can go. I
Yeah,
can,
go ahead.
I
Go
can,
for it. Go for it. This your
I,
interview. Go for it. Do your thing.
yo, okay. Yo, listen. Yo, when God made man in his own image, that he made crooks or criminal niggas. If a thug dies, is the sins forgiven? In the shadow of my path, I hope my soul's forgiven. Man and women, it feel like my mind is spinning. Every breath that I take, it feel like time is ending. Who was willing to cope with all the drugs and killing? In the depths of my ghetto, all the blood is spilling. It's hard to deal it when you're in the physical form, because everything in existence is mentally known. Break down and transform off the top of the dome. All the suffering in the hood I can't ignore. I try to explore, but niggas know the hood is vivid. Mad casualties, but niggas never know who did it. That's the question. So I always stay committed. Never gonna quit it. The streets is where I'ma spit it. Just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely can spit without the instrumental in the background. Definitely.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it both ways. I mean, like,
If you're a web
I can do
designer,
it both ways. I'm a drop some. I can do it both ways. I'm gonna show you that I could do it both ways, and I could talk about anything. Anything that somebody want to talk about, I can definitely talk about.
Well,
And that's and
well,
that's a fact. That's what
well,
separates me from a
yeah.
lot of
So
people.
Do you stick to one type of genre?
Nah, nah. I like to be honest with you. You gonna laugh at me when I tell you this. I I like country.
mm,
I like country more than I like rap. It's just that I'm just good at rap. You see what I'm saying? If that makes
I
sense.
tapped into that side too. When was your last battle and who was it with?
I battled this guy named Jay Killum. Jay Kill Him. That was his name. And I battled him over here on Wendy platform. I like that. And I smoked him to the point that nobody else wanted to really like. I mean, how you gonna deal with a guy that's intelligent? His vocabulary is real good, and he know how to talk substance.
did you kill him?
Of course, no question, I did.
His
No
name was
question,
Kelly.
Yeah,
So
DOA.
no question, I kill him. No
yeah,
question, I kill him. And I'm gonna show you. And I'm gonna listen. Let me run. Cause see, they'll but those two up there don't really know. So let me do it. Let me show y'all. Like
yeah.
when I
Go
have to
ahead,
go to war. When I
do
have
your
to go,
business.
yo, salute to the line. Yo, this Burnz. What we doing? Yo, shit, yo. Any nigga mention my name, they better stand down. Burnz always stay in the trenches, I'm with the fam now. Any nigga cross that line is like a man down. I smoke any one of you niggas on command now. Y'all really want the supply? I'm the man now. I don't really fuck with you niggas. Understand now, y'all be looking like clowns. Y'all trying to fuck around. Real recognize real niggas when they come around. I break niggas down like particles and molecules of all the war. Something that niggas don't never do. Niggas always talking like girls with an attitude. Niggas always claiming they killers, but killers never do. I guess it's parallel. They walking in the night.
I guess they're in the dark trying to make it to the light. These niggas ain't ready to fight. I'm in my bag though, guerrilla warfare, like I'm related to Rambo. The competition need to stop looking, listen. I'm meditating like I'm foreseeing the future for no reason. Yo, to me it's body season. These niggas like baby when they cheesing. Black apparel when I'm squeezing. Niggas stay dumping. You know somebody gone cause you can smell the rain coming. Hope y'all niggas get it together cause I'm down for whatever. But you know, yo, I'm second to none. I'm from the home of the Gamecocks, home of the Tigers, home of the dangerous niggas, we move violent. Home of the gangster niggas, we move silent. I'm trying to talk to these niggas, I'm speaking like a wise man. I put the time in, yeah, that's my identity. I swear to God, I'm just trying to make history. Most of these niggas come up like a mystery. Jay Nas, Biggie, and Pop taught me the chemistry. Here the recipe, I'm here to set the record straight. Burnz in the building, yeah, I'm about to violate. Slash regulate, I'm telling these niggas. So all these new school artists, I ain't scared of these niggas, cause why? I stay lifted, you know the God's gifted. Thinking how the game not changing, how it really shifted. Mind drifting, I'm what the game is really missing. Competition, read them like my composition. This my position, you know I got it laid out. A year from now, all these niggas getting fade out. Yellow tape and chalk line when them K's out. I'm like Jada in the booth, watch me air them out. I got my poker face on, I'm about to spread them out. Hope the industry niggas know that I'm coming out. No disrespect, I'm just trying to get them bigger checks. Get my name on that line like X, nigga. I ain't no Malcolm though, still got the 90s flow, just to let y'all niggas know what a nigga aiming for. They try mocking me, niggas, they trying to copy me. My prophecy, I just play them just like Monopoly. My philosophy, wherever on the track. I'm like one of the illest, Carolina on the map. It's mafia status. So forget all the foolery. I body these niggas. That show up at the eulogy. God.
Period. You keep on going. You can
Now
keep
that's
on
my
going.
You just
listen.
read.
That's my
You did
talking
that.
reckless. That's just my talking reckless.
Right.
When I'm in a group with a bunch of ignorant guys, that's talking reckless. But I'm more like a songwriter. So I'm gonna give you an example of that, how that looks like. I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm gonna give a lot of artists an example because a lot of artists they can make music, but they can't write songs. And
That part.
yeah, and I'm gonna give them a kind of idea on like it don't matter what type of song you write on.
Mhm.
I
I wanna go inside again.
just off an instrumental. Yeah, salute to the live. I really have to talk to niggas. Not me. Pain is pain. Love is love. You know what I mean? Sometimes I sit back and visualize, take y'all down memory lane, right? Give y'all a little more information about me in general. Yo, shit. Yo, back in 95, you know a nigga was live. I was 15 watching life passing me by. So confused, I never really played by the rules. I never understand, steady paying my dues. I never was a fool. Father said I was a dropout, I couldn't lose. So I had to took another route. Did 5 years for selling crack at my mother's house. It wasn't worth it. Really trying to close the curtain. Didn't pay it, no mind. I still put that work in. Watching older niggas carry in the back of hearses. Hard to explain it, seeing it was the worstest. Played the cards I was dealt. I did it on purpose, just the way that I am. You know the streets made me to the man that I am, and they never fade me. The hood taught me to move like I move. Can a wise man drop some jewels? Let me talk to him. Shit, can I talk to him? I gotta talk to him. That's that pain. You know what I mean? I really like talk to him. I talk different. Yo, shit.
It was late nights and hot summers that make me wonder. Looking out them project windows going under. Learning how to flip them packs. Can you imagine that? Learning how to move like the pimps and Max. Getting older. Picturing that, I got bolder. Had the whole ghetto on my shoulders. Late night under street lights drinking a Cobra, a 211. Damn, it heard it like 9/11. Like a street reverend who used to talk about the biblical Jehovah Witnesses, who used to talk about the miracles. I didn't see it. I didn't really want to be it. A nigga like me felt cheated. Had to stay strong, undefeated. The hood had me weaving. A smooth operator, a nigga trying to be it. So relating to this action, cause physical doesn't traction. Now I'm stacking, let me talk to him. Shit, gotta talk to him. Yo, salute to the live Burnz the God. Let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. Shit. Yo, just for my ghetto people, I'm showing love because the ghetto equal. Gotta maintain that something what the ghetto teach you. It's an option. Crooked niggas trying to beat you. It's the way of the hood. The ghetto try to eat you. Motivating on these niggas so I can see through all the envy and jealousy niggas. I go to war. I swear to God, I'm telling these niggas I bust off like Nas did in Belly, my nigga. They don't want the action. I'm a dawn straight relaxing. Cold cash and LV, latest fashion. Never flashing because I'm an ill type nigga. And you know I go back like the 90s, my nigga. Loyalty is what I stand for. Respect is given. Yo, they pass me the torch. Yo, respect my living. Second to none. Niggas need to stop and listen because I'm rising to the top. Yeah, I made my decision. God. Salute.
Felt like I was at the concert and I had first front row, and I ain't never had first row before.
Let me tell you. Let me
I
tell you.
always first
And
row.
that's why it's really that's why a lot of guys that's why it's hard to that's why a lot of guys don't like to compete against me in songs because when you listen to my verses, I'm talking about something. Like if I do a song, I'm talking about something. Period.
Period.
Because if you don't got nothing to talk about, people is not gonna listen.
Right. And if
They
it
don't.
ain't about
Hey,
yourself or
Tizzy.
somebody you trying to diss, they don't want to listen to it.
And y'all notice I ain't talking about having no Bentley. I ain't talking about no ops. I ain't talking about none of that fabricated. I just kept it strictly based upon
None of the
me.
skittles and bittles.
I just kept it basic on I just kept it authentic. And that's what a lot of artists need to go back to is keeping it authentic and
Right.
quit painting the pictures. Because once you get an artist that paint a certain picture, you got the younger generation who you never know who will idolize you until they start idolizing you. And then when they start idolizing you, you
Because they
painting the
idolize what
wrong
they see you do.
exactly.
And a lot of artists
Exactly.
don't even know how to be authentic, so they can't do nothing but try to duplicate or replicate what they see out there. Because
Yeah,
you, first of all, you
exactly.
got to understand and find out who you are yourself and what you stand for and what your beliefs and what you about. Then you can go rap and speak about and tell somebody who you are. Other than that, you can't do that. You just gonna be the next to the identical thing. We just keep coming out with, coming out with, coming out with the same thing. You know, it's a drag.
You're right because a lot of guys now when they make music, instead of they use the stove top, they want it microwave. I call it microwave music. Some of it is good because some of it is healthy for the culture because you always want the culture to have a balance. You know what I mean? Yeah, when we get tired of listening to like niggas who talking about substance and this and that, we can go over here to the guys who making you bounce and twerk and all that stuff. So the culture is very important for the culture to have a balance. If that makes
Right.
sense. So,
Yeah,
Definitely.
Tizzy say he got some artists he can set you up with.
huh?
Mm-hmm. Tizzy.
I said Tizzy said he got some artists that he can set you up with.
I'm willing to work with anybody. I ain't no celebrity yet. I'll work with anybody. We can like I'm not a hard person to work with as far as like making music, but I do take my craft serious and I do take, like when because you never know what
Business serious, period. Business,
yeah,
period. You got to be
yeah,
standing
yeah,
on business. Make
yeah,
sure that you know what
Uh-huh.
you're talking
yeah.
about. Make sure you put it in place for somebody to know and what to do. all that. You just
Exactly.
got to stand on
Exactly.
business these days. And
Exactly. And
I
that's
feel like it's a lot of people that don't stand on business. They talk so much, but they don't even do what they say they're gonna do. You know what I
listen.
mean? And that's one reason I do this too, because I can't stand somebody to tell me something, but it's another thing. So you have to stand on business. If you want to be about business, you need to stand on it and make
Casual.
sure you go forward with it. Don't back out. Don't be doing all this unnecessary stuff. Who wants to work with people like that? Artists, period.
Yeah,
Entrepreneurs.
and like I said, to be honest with you, I could be, if I really wanted to, I could really be charging people
Definitely.
because
What's up,
I mean,
man?
because of the accolades, because of what I have already done. I want to just show y'all some of the stuff, that I already did. I got articles, I got magazines was already talking about me back in 2017 before I even was thinking about even dropping a project. And let me show y'all something. Give me a second. Cause sometimes you have to show people instead of like just really, you know. So I'm gonna show y'all. Just give me a second. Like, and I got some nice songs. I got some real nice songs. I
Well,
know
go
she like
ahead. Do
Regina
your
like it.
bit so Izzo,
Don't
kill
you
them
come
on
over
your.
here with no R&B tone. Don't you come over here with no R&B tone. Don't you do me like that.
Yes, you
what you
do.
ta- what you
Don't
talking
you
about?
do it.
Yeah, yes you
I
do.
know you
Yes
do.
you do.
Yes, you
Yes you
do.
do.
No, you don't. Don't you do it.
I
Yes,
I'm trying to
Yes you
figure out.
do.
You better not be talking that stuff I like to hear. Let me hear it.
Oh yeah, hold on. How can I flip my camera around? Y'all,
The
so
camera.
go up at the top. You'll go. It's I think it say poetry, and you're gonna hit that, and it should have. You should be able to reverse your screen, not go off.
See? He said when he said flip, he meant flip.
Flip it.
He just flipped.
Nah, he could have went in his settings and flipped it too.
There you go. He back.
He can go in his settings and flip the camera.
I was trying to find my backdrop picture. I gotta do some investigation around here.
I know.
I
Zad and
can't let
flip
people see me
mine.
like this. I look rough today.
Girl, bye.
I'm clean though.
What's that? What? He did it again.
Yeah, go into settings and hit. I'll wait till you come back.
It's too
Hmm.
hot, Ken. He too hot. He too hot. He keep burning out. He too hot. You finna talk that stuff.
Yes, he is. I can't wait. Like last night, for real, I was at work. I swore he was Jada Kiss or one of them.
Y'all know, man, I miss some DMX, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. I miss some
Yeah,
DMX.
all of them. Biggie, Tupac, Nipsey,
I
Hustle,
miss
all
them
them.
too. I miss them
Like
too,
they was
Regina. But
amazing, and they mean well for their community. That's
yeah, but
one
I miss
thing that I
DMX
love.
because he got my name all up in his song, and it was at the top of the list. I went all the way at the bottom. It was Dawn, LaShawn. See, it's Dawn. Dawn.
yo, y'all can hear me.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
awards this
Yeah,
weekend. You should
So
have
yeah.
seen
You
so
can
that
go into
Tubby.
your
I
settings and hit camera.
so after I did this, really I could have went up on the price, right? Like right after I did this. And then when I did I don't know if y'all know who Royce the 5'9" is, but I think that's like Eminem right hand man.
right.
And when I did this for this is his little brother, and he's in the whatchamacallit when
The
he when
battle.
no Royce the 5'9", you know who he is, right?
No, tell
Mm-mm.
us a little bit about him.
That's Eminem. That's Eminem. If you Google Royce the 5'9" and Eminem, that's like Eminem right hand man. That's who Eminem came in the game with.
Okay.
But after I did that, and you know, like I say, I got a lot of, like I say, I got a lot of songs. But what I was saying is that a lot of artists. Let me turn my camera around. But what I was saying is a lot of artists needs to. You got to keep content. You always got to keep content.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. And I got any type of song you can think of, I can make.
Right. And that's
Yeah,
true
go hit us
because
with that R&B joint.
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's true what you
I
said
got you.
too. Because I
Keep talking
definitely
about Nene. Did you? What? Take this
when
one.
I go on people pages and I don't see no content about what you got going on or something else, I'm bypassing it. Like I want to see what's about you. What's about you? And as I
And
look on my page,
this she ain't even heard this. It's me and my man Bone Beezy and Amnesia on this track. I switched my whole this showing the versatility side. Like
mm,
I'm my man Bone singing the hook, I'm rapping, but you won't even tell it's me by the way they change my voice, and then my man Amnesia singing the hook, but it's a pretty decent song.
okay,
You can hear that?
yeah, but turn up just a little bit more.
Hold on. You can hear it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You said that you want me, said that you need me, but you rather drown and put trust.
This is way out my
You
lane.
know that I want you know that I need you. We bound together, but we can't fall in love. You said that you want me, said that you need me, but you rather drown and put trust in love. Know that I want you know that I need you. We bound together, but we can't fall in love. The way that's so comforting, but love don't love nobody, guess it's reality. I'm not that.
I'm about to start rapping right now.
I told her, baby, your misery don't understand. I ain't mean to be into yo, I've been down for a minute. Heart filled to swallow a bit, that something was missing. Isolated in my mental, fighting off on my demons. It's hard to say who's really winning, cause I'm constantly weak and I drank a bit or two and hope shit I'll forget how I miss you. Then you come a toxic nigga who don't know how to treat you. Now you on my line talking about man that love shit to kill you, forgetting I was committed. Now you wanna be said that you want me, said that you need me, but you rather drown with trust and love. You know that I want you, you know that I need you. We bound together, but we can't fall in love. You said that you want me, said that you need me. You rather drown with trust and love. Know that I want you, you know
That's
that
the other guy who on
we
it.
bound together, but we can't fall in love. You my faith, I know you my trust. But all you had to do was show me some love. Every moment we had, yo, we came out of love. But all you want to do is turn up instead of making it work. I should have left you a long time ago. And now you using coke just to clear up the pain. Fucking fake tears that will never change. And now you mad because people are screaming out my name. So how you feel? Got a new love, baby, yes, it's toxic. If you want to trust, baby girl, get a direction. I ain't even tripping with some music, baby, racking. Fuck love, how you said that you want
Fire.
you rather drown and put
you ain't
trust
send me
in
that.
love. You know that I want you.
Yeah, I'll send it to
I
you.
need you. We bound together, but we can't fall in love. Said that you want me, said that you need me, but you rather drown and put trust in love. Know that I want you. You know that I need you. We bound together, but
I
we
just
can't
did that, and that
fall in love.
from what you heard last night, this is way out my element.
It is. I can't believe that's you.
That shows the versatility that I got,
Right.
and that's why a lot of people like you might hear me on a track like uh let me see. Now you got me doing what I did yesterday. It's great. Uh
Hey, you cold blooded.
huh?
hmm
I really
I said you
appreciate it.
cold blooded.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Let me see. Let me find something. Let me find something. Hold on.
Like, I ain't even got no more questions for him. It's all on Diva now.
I just want him to do me an intro.
You got me, baby. You got me. Ain't need nothing else for me to say. You got me. Shit. Add me to that chart.
The year was 97 when the God first seen you. You was at the park smoking blunts with your people. No, we was equal when we first met. You was rocking Timberlands with some Nautica sweats. Light blue contacts with the caramel complexion, your face and smile, looking like Hallie and Lisa. The way that you walk, you'll remind me of Trina. I had to meet you, didn't really want to mislead you, even though you had a man that was down my people. Game was lethal. I see you people my frame, had to keep my composure. I was doing the same. Got your name and your number. Damn, you make me wonder. Could you be my wifey or maybe my friend? Could you be my lover close like my next of kin? The wind within had me think about rough sex. On a scale of 1 to 10, the God had to confess. Cause who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies? Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies? Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies? Who rock grooves? Yo, late night conversations over the phone. Used to talk about how your man leave you alone. I couldn't understand it. So beautiful, so damaged. How one man could leave a woman so abandoned. I remember we used to stroll on the beaches. I teach you, you teach me. We had that connection. Our future was planned, trying to see the direction. The arguments and fist fights, I see the perfection. It wasn't right. Two wrongs, it didn't matter. All the envy and jealousy unattractive. We had a blessing, but our love was a fraction. You can't win a race when you running it backwards. Never was for practice, but I don't care though. It wasn't factual, so I gotta let you know. You was my Barney. I hate that we couldn't grow. But you know, I really had to let you go. Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies? Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies? Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies? Who rock grooves and make moves? Who rock grooves? Now I think about it, and it put me in another place. My head space, my thoughts trying to retrace. Wish you was here so we can really touch base. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of typical, like a faded memory. That's how I envision you. There's nothing in this world that I will never do. Just to get you back, I'm just stating the fact. It's an empty gap. I'm just trying to relax, trying to turn back the hands of time, biting a bullet. I know you was the one for me. They said we shouldn't. It's complicated, and you know that I really hate it. It's like a gift and a curse. You really can't explain it. But the love we had never was sacred. I gotta break it to the end of time, and I know that you be my destiny for sure, cause I feel it down deep in my core. Rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies? Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies? That's a nice little story, right?
Yeah.
That's a nice little story.
And I definitely know you got more than that in your pocket.
Hold on, let
Definitely.
me. Psycho World Records. Hold on, let me. I got something. I got something for y'all. I got
Like
something.
for War Records.
Yeah, we about to take off. You can Google us. We Googleable.
Yeah, I know. I did.
Video about to drop.
I'm
Video about
about
to
to
drop, but it's real
collaborate.
soon.
Yes,
I'm
it
working.
is. Burns is coming.
Show you.
Y'all better watch out because he's going to bypass a lot of you.
Show you.
I
Let me
don't
show
know
you something.
how.
That's coming.
Steady, 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 steady.
Hold on. Let me
Rock
show you something.
steady.
I got a lot of music. Hold on. I want to show you something right quick.
Are you ready? Are you steady? What's going
Video
on?
coming.
What's going on?
Video coming real soon. I'm posted on that. I'm gonna keep y'all definitely posted on that. Low promo. It's a low promo.
I want to be in one of these videos.
Be fire. Y'all gonna be fire when that's done. So hold on. I got something I wanna play.
Hold on, I got something. Let me give y'all another song. It's not that one. Like I said, if y'all got any questions, don't be scared to ask. Don't be scared to cut me off. We like family now.
That part.
Oh, you locked in.
Yeah, niggas don't know I talk to them.
As the greatest demonstration, psycho record in the history of the nation. Burnz. We here, baby. Sometimes I sit back and try to close the curtains, meditating, wonder if my life is worth it. I don't understand, I'm trying to reach my purpose. Seem like these niggas just be writing that curse. A big got hit, pop got shot, who got the answer? Couple years ago, on died because of cancer. Gotta stay focused, niggas, they steady lurking. Daughters getting older, I'm prophesizing the hurting. Visualizing the pain, not never the same. Looking at the water, but never witnessed the rain. Shit is getting old, I'm televising the game. Niggas in the hood say shit is gonna change. We need to. We got a lot of homeless people. Things we can see through. Gotta hit the sequel. Bullshit I can see through just for a minute. I can see the pictures while thugs be in it. Cops be winning. Man turn themselves to women. What's the world coming to ever since the beginning? Nigga was sinning, getting people off of the muscle. Like Big say, nigga, every day's a struggle. You gotta live once. You gotta live it to the fullest. Like a trigger when a nigga pull it, who bite the bullet? Shit. Who bite the bullet? Psycho I'm just really letting y'all
Oh yeah, I
hear,
gotta
like,
get in one of these videos.
yo, I'm telling you, I'm that nice.
Mhm.
Like, hold on, let me play something else. I'm just that nice. A lot of people ain't know. I think this is one of my favorite songs right here. This is the one I actually sent you.
Okay, well, let me play it.
Yeah, that's the one I actually sent you.
Okay, so let's go to it.
It's an old school.
Game
Old
on,
school.
right?
Yeah.
All right,
Salute, Deb.
let's get it. Let's go.
What's up, Cashman?
Roof is on fire. The roof is on fire.
Burnz in the game, headed to the top. Psycho Wars the label, never gonna stop. Y'all niggas think we playing, but we not. We the type of niggas, yo, we shooting at the ops. I'm charged in finest, check the persona. We lock the streets anytime that we wanna. Dead before dishonor, move like piranhas. Y'all niggas bringing the drama, we bring the karma. Yeah, I'm so nice, turn dark in the light. I drop jewels on anything that I write. Niggas trying to recite, they doing it wrong. Swear to God, I put my hands on the Quran. Even on the Bible, it's all about survival. Niggas know my tongue, yo, built like a rifle. Niggas know I'm coming, so they better beware. Psycho war in here, so they better prepare. Niggas know I'm back and it's just the beginning. 20 years strong and the niggas still winning. Niggas thought I would finish, had to boss up. See, I'm like one of the best, I never cross up. All these niggas know, I stay in the trenches. Why these niggas trying to clone my division? Not gonna sweat it, y'all can forget it. Hit the kill switch on niggas, yeah I said it. Only just a fraction, gotta get the back end. Something like a one-on-one, make it a classic. Niggas steady running, Jay took me out of the streets. Now I'm jumping, trying to get something. Never be cocky, niggas can't block me. Let it be known I'm hitting hard like Rocky. Tell these niggas ain't listening. Time's up, these niggas know I'm fitting in.
two-stepping, low-key flexing. Chucktown, yeah, salute, cause I rep it. Niggas be talking, survival of the fittest. Never back paddling, can I get a witness? Bow down, ready to tear down, I'm open. Third eye open, niggas think I'm joking. Yeah, I'm official, anything I'm smoking. OG status, OG pass it. Fuck you, pay me, D niggas acting. Hit you from 1,000 yards when I'm clapping. I was born in this world as a hustler, a hot nigga. Getting his off the muscle, never did a scuffle, cause I illmatic. Learn the ways of the streets, now I just master. Ain't nobody really, yo, telling me shit. Did the math on it, now I'm really legit.
That's an old song. That's a promo song.
Psycho World Records, Burnz, we coming.
I think I did that song and that was one of my favorite artists. I did that song back in 2021. I want to say 2022. But I like that song. I like the song because that's like one of my songs. But I like the song because I actually show structure on how you're supposed to write a song as far as hook verse, chorus verse, 16 verse, 16 bar chorus, 16 bar chorus. But you know, you could tell that's an old song because most of the songs I got now got like 2 verses on it. And you notice that got like 3 of them, 3 verses on it, you know. Because these days in time, you know, people make 2 minute. If you can you can write 12 bars a verse and make it into a 3-minute song with 2 verses. Because like I said, radio is not playing these days in time. Radio is not playing a 4-minute song at all. You get lucky if radio play like a 3-minute song. So if you can get anything under 3 minutes, you'll be good as far as recording a song.
So how do you like know the difference or when you are like rapping or singing or anything what the bar is supposed to look like or how your pitch supposed to be in the bars? Like how can an artist like as a beginner of an artist that they probably don't even know about bars, but they
It's
just
easy.
spit in.
Bars is Bars is like if you get a piece of paper like this, if you get a piece of paper like this right here, for example, if you get a piece of paper, each line, each like maybe every 3 to 4 to 5 words slash another 3, 4, 5 words slash that's a bar. And you
Okay.
count that like every 16. Like I said, Burnz in the game, headed to the top. Psycho Wars the label, we never gonna stop. That's a bar.
Okay.
And you keep that format till you get to 16 bars like that. Every 2 bar is a bar. And how my writing, how I learned how to do that is I write, I take the line paper and write so I get to 16 line. When I get to the 16th line, then I know I got a whole 16 verse. And then most of the time, the beat will let you know when you need to come in or when you need to come in. You notice in that song, I knew exactly when to come in and I know exactly when the chorus was coming in. And
Right.
then your engineer, and then if you're in the studio, your engineer can coach you too. Your engineer will coach you, and your engineer can, you know, really the
Make
engineer
sure
is
that
the
your
one that,
music is balanced
yeah,
to your words pretty much,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
The engineer is the one that they fix the vocals, they fix the balance, the volume balance, they change the tone in your voice, and they make
Mhm.
sure and cut and paste the verses to so
Where they
if
need
you,
to be in place.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly,
Definitely.
exactly. So
Yeah,
you
because
know,
I have been in the studio and I have been with other people, not me that's been in the studio, but I have been in the studio with a couple people and I see how, the producers does the music. Like they cut stuff out, they add
yeah,
stuff in. Um the whatever the volume is, or for which you're not sounding right, or your words aren't coming out clear right. They fix that. So I, it's a lot of work, definitely.
Yeah, what I try to tell artists to do, and this is what I do too. If I'm about to do a song, I'll get the beat and write to it and practice it. Practice the practice the song until I got it on my head. So just like how I could just regular rap a verse to you a cappella, I practice it like that. So when I go to the studio, if I'm paying $80 an hour for a studio session, I can go in there and knock a song out in 2 hours. And let me
Right.
remind you, an hour for me to lay my vocals and an hour for the engineer to do whatever he need to do. Because a studio is really expensive, and the people that own studios, they look for guys to come in there who got to read off the paper, off the pen, because they know them guys gonna make a mistake. Now, when they see a guy, what they don't like to see is a guy who come in, such as myself, who go in there and do it off of one take or maybe two, but he got no pen and no pad. He just go in there in the booth and just lay it, because I practice. I practice before I even get there.
Right.
So you see how to look. So if I go to the studio right now with a group of guys who never heard me, and I get in the booth with no pen and no pad and lay 2 songs down from verse to hook, from verse to hook, and if they didn't know I practiced, they would have figured like I wrote that in there.
Right.
You see, so it's all about, like I said earlier, it's all about practicing your craft, man. You gotta practice your craft. You gotta learn the business. You gotta stay in the people face. Most importantly, people is not gonna follow nobody that they can't see what's going on. People is nosy. We in the nosy era
Right.
right now. So anything, if you popping and somebody, people following you, they want to know what you're doing. You could
That
be at the
part.
grocery store, you could be in the mall. All content is good content.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? If you positive with it, all content is good content, because people like to see what you're doing,
Right.
not just following your music. They like to see what you do. They nosy. They want to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So as long
Definitely.
as you, so as long as you practice, learn the business, and once you get that formatted, keep posting content, you should be all right as an artist. And be humble. You'll be
Yes.
all right as an artist. I promise you, you will. And people will respect you. People will want to work with you, and you will be getting invited to do stuff like what I'm doing right now.
Right. And that's true. I always say that. So definitely you got to be professional too as well. You know,
Yeah,
some people just can't take of working with people that's not
I'm professional.
really mindset of on your business and being professional about it, and making sure you stay on top of what you're trying to do, not trying but are doing. And not even that, like it's always somebody in the background want to see you fall, and they want to see you do
Mm-hmm.
bad
Yeah,
from coming up, and then when you come up, they want to see you fall. It's like, well, why you waiting on my failure? Because the failure ain't coming because I already know you want to see that. You know what I mean?
it's crazy because people be your biggest fan and wishing you fall all in the same sentence.
Yeah, it's for real. That's why you got to be strong out here. You definitely got to have a strong heart and a
Yeah,
backbone to
yeah,
take anything that's gonna come at you. Because if not, you're gonna back out and then you get discouraged on what you're supposed to be doing because you're thinking about what another person thinking about you. You're never gonna get anywhere. And that's for
facts,
sure. And
facts.
like I just say it all the time, you can't be a backstabber and stand right there in front of my face and act like I don't know. You know
No,
what I mean?
the crazy thing about it, a lot of people feel like and that's one thing about me that I like. I make myself accessible to certain people,
Hmm.
that not certain people that I'm a benefit from, but
Right.
certain people that gonna give me an opportunity, because you gotta think about the world we live in. You know, it's
Hmm.
opportunities everywhere. Like somebody gonna always need somebody to wash their car, somebody gonna always need somebody to flip burgers, somebody gonna always, so it's always gonna be like opportunity. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
To do something or to do anything. So I just try what I try to do now at my stage in the game, I just try to, you know what I mean, just try to make good music, make some bread from it. If I get famous, if I blow, I blow, which 9 times out of 10, I probably will. And I'm just really concentrating on
So why you
the
put the
good,
probably in there?
huh?
So why you put the probably in there?
Because you always got to leave room for error.
You ain't got
You
none. Just blow
always.
up.
You ever
Blow
plan
up.
some you ever plan something,
It's
and
time.
even though you go through with the plan, it always be some technicality or obstacle you got to get around before you actually. I never seen a
Yeah.
perfect plan just with
No
no
flaw.
obstacles or no
That's because
flaws.
it
So
ain't a
I
perfect
just
plan,
leave
but it's
that.
perfectly for
Not,
you.
yeah, you right, you right. I mean, I
It's
talk
just
like
time for
that
you to
because,
blow up. That's all. It's just time for you to blow up.
yeah, I'm
It ain't no
like
ifs. It ain't no maybes. It ain't I could. I should. If
I mean,
maybe
I
if I
just,
no 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 no. I'm going to blow
She
up. This
reading you
my
right now.
time. This is
yeah,
my time.
it's good.
I'm getting ready to go for it. I work for this. I put my heart and my soul and my dedication in this. God saw my pen when he touched that paper. He
I
heard the words
appreciate
in
that.
my
I
soul
need
and
that.
he helped me adapt it. So now all I've been through, because I done been through the obstacles, I done got pushed back 20 times. I done did the gangster shit, I done did the good stuff. I done been here and I done been there. I done seen it up and I done seen down. I have experienced it all. And in that I put everything together, which makes me the man who you see standing in front of you today. And I done had a story to tell. And damn it, it's time for the world to hear it. So no, there ain't no maybe I might blow up. Ooh, tomorrow might be my day. Let me go pray on it just a little bit. Let me put a little
I see
sauce
what
on
you're
it.
talking about.
It's your time.
I see
It's
what you're
your
talking about.
time.
You know what? You know why I see what you're talking about? Because when I was younger, my grandmother, we from the South, your grandmother always keep you in church. And my grandmother said, words is power. If you speaking it existing enough, it will happen.
It definitely
So
Once you
will.
leave your
Yeah.
so I
soul,
feel you.
you
So
have
I feel
soul to
what you're talking
see.
about.
Mm.
When
So
you
I
leave
feel
your
what you're
soul,
talking
you
about.
you sow that seed. And I don't
Yeah.
think
Not
a lot
even
of
that.
people understand
And
how
not
much
even that,
power.
thinking about it too can get you in a different place too. So
Yeah.
Well, you ain't gotta
don't
think no
think
more,
about it.
Regina.
You
It's time for
can't
him to
think
walk.
about it. You can't think about it. Just do it. Like sometimes
And
you just
he
have
ain't
to
got to
be
think.
about things. Right. That's what I'm saying. Don't think about it because sometimes when you think about stuff, you bring it to assistance too as
Yeah.
well.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're
So
definitely right.
speaking on it too and thinking about it too can still bring it upon you.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
right.
mean?
You're definitely right. You're definitely right. I just
He already done.
the only reason I said that is I just always try. I always been the type that even if it don't happen, I always just
You
try
like
to
to
keep
be
a
too
little
humble.
bit. I always try to keep a little bit of room for trial and error. Even if it don't happen, I
Right.
always try to keep a little bit of room for trial and error. Not saying that I'm looking for the trial and error to happen, but I just try to keep just a little crack,
Yeah,
just in
because it
case
ain't
I have.
perfect. It definitely
Yeah,
ain't perfect.
I
yeah.
Yeah.
understand all
So
that, but Diva telling you
But
it's time.
yeah.
oh
I'm
yeah, I'm
so
about
sure
to.
about what I'm saying. You should either got a call or you gonna get a call about a video shoot.
Oh
You
yeah,
getting that ready, asked to come to do some work here.
Yeah.
I'm
And
with
we
it.
just
Yeah.
Like
kind of
So
wondering at
definitely
this
it
time
means
if
well
I
to be about it and
yeah,
do it.
Hold up, Judge.
You know what I mean?
and like I say, my journey, all in all, my journey on this music thing, it was humble. Sometimes I got discouraged sometimes, and sometimes I had to pick myself up, and I had to be like, yo, my grandmother always say, just, 'cause I pray, I go to church and do all that stuff, and I always ask God to always keep me humble enough to get around good people that can. If I work hard and show my work and be humble, I can get around good people that can give me the opportunity to bring me to the next step that I need to get to. Because at the end of the day, you can do so much, but you can't always do it by yourself. I mean, you can. It's people out there that'll push you to get to the next step. So that's all. I just keep myself humble and just keep myself humble and just keep myself focused and take care and know how to balance. I came to the point where I know how to also balance my personal life from music and know how to deal with both of them. So it ain't easy, but I mean, like I always get this concept that a lot of people say, "Yo, you nice, you nice." I said, "Nah, I'm all right." I'm gonna tell you why I say that, because as long as I think I'm all right, I'm gonna be pushing for that niceness. but I'm already nice. So that gonna always have that battery in my back. Like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I'm that good. I gotta work harder, harder, harder. But not knowing all along, I've been good.
So
But
let me
see, if
ask
you
you
think,
this:
huh?
Did your grandma did most of the raising in your life?
Say it again.
Your grandmother, she did a majority of the raising with you when you was younger, Brenda.
Yeah,
You were
my grandmother, she always used to get me for the summer, and 'cause my parents they worked a lot, and
okay.
it
So
was me
check
and my
it.
sister. Yeah, my
You had a
grandmother.
praying. You had a praying grandmother.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
You
I'm
had
talking
a
about.
grandmother that was raised and raised and still and divided in the Word of God. Because a lot
Yeah,
of people don't understand that a lot of our older Negro people and Black people, they came from slavery.
yeah.
They were raised on different plantations.
My
Each
grandmother. Oh,
plantation
go ahead.
that
I'm sorry.
each
Go ahead.
plantation that different our ancestors and stuff was raised on and brought up, they were all breeded differently. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
People got to
And
understand just because some slave owners were who they were, you did have some good slave owners out there. With that being said, each plantation example, my grandmother, her nickname is Peaches. It took me becoming a grown woman to ask her, why do they call you Peaches? Now, mind you, my grandmother been on a motherboard since I probably was brought into this world. She got the first seat up there, y'all. I had a praying grandmother.
If you don't take that picture off my screen.
My grandmother and my grandfather, especially my grandmother, was raised on a plantation down in Louisiana, Lake Providence. On that plantation, she was raised and they were beaten. Never to say nothing bad, negative, no negative thoughts, nothing bad. Meaning, through my grandmother's whole life, I think she has never said not one bad thing in her whole entire life. I have a brother. 1987, my brother was supposed to have been convicted of 14 counts.
Mm.
He was supposed to been death by the chair, lethal injection. This was during the time where we still had prejudice and a lot of that stuff going on around here, 87, 88ish. I've never seen the courtroom King down Clayton. One side of the courtroom was all black people, the other side was all white.
Ooh,
The room was at full capacity. Whereas they had to have people on the outsides and different places to put them, even on the outside, because if I'm not lying, if you go back into your library and go into your archive files, 1987, McClure North, stabbing of a white boy. And not only was this a white boy, this was the Florissant police chief's son.
that's crazy.
My brother loved so much his friends. Don't listen. Warning always comes before destruction. Number
That's a
one, my
fact.
mother told you not to go somewhere that she asked you not to go to that party. She said, don't go. You went. He snuck and went. Two, you stole mama car, you left, you didn't even come back, you did nothing you was supposed to do. And you was with the people who you claimed was your best friend. Each one of his friends, if I could take all my fingers to do it like that, I would. He went to a party with them somewhere he wasn't supposed to be.
It always
And the
happened like
fight
that.
broke out. Between the black and white, a fight broke out. My dumbass brother decides that he wants to take up for his friends and help.
Mm.
I couldn't tell you what he did, what he didn't do, but I can tell you when the police found my brother, he was driving a getaway car with the knife up under his seat.
Mm.
My brother did 6 months in jail, gumbo. It only took 6 months because that was the length of the time that it took that trial. If you met my
Jesus,
grandmother today, you would see her knees, she would show her that this color. She said, I had a prayer. She said, why are your knees so black, grandma? She said, because I'm a prayer warrior. We have
that's
a
a fact.
praying
I heard that.
grandmother. When I say from the first day they knocked on the door when they came and told my mother about my brother, and I ain't never heard my mother cry like this. You have never heard your mother cry this certain type of cry until it deals with her children. The
That's a
deepest
fact.
love that she got besides the love of her parents, a mother, her children, to know that your child When I say my grandma prayed that day, and mind y'all ride this story with me, because my mama didn't have a dime of money. We ain't have shit. I wouldn't lie to you.
I feel you.
We
I
went
feel you.
broke like we homeless, but it wasn't like that for this type of stuff. We didn't even have
Right.
a thought process probably of us. And mind you, at this time I'm probably 7, 8 years old, so I'm getting a chance to watch all this going on.
Mm.
From the first day of court to the last day of court, my grandma stayed on her knees, stayed on her knees, stayed on her knees, praying, praying, fasting. I tell y'all how we tell you how you call people friends. Sometimes we have to stop calling people friends because the ones you call friends are not your freaking friends.
No, they're
And
not.
that's
They're
and
associates.
listen. Let me tell you. I
Definitely.
tell people like this. If I didn't grow up in the sandbox with you, I consider you as an associate until I really get to know you. But like the type of
Hold
grandmother
that.
that you got, the type of
Hold that
grandmother that you
sandbox.
got,
Hold
Right.
your friends
huh?
in that sandbox. Hold your friends in that sandbox. Those same
Yeah,
ones you
Hmm.
ride with. Let's
Yeah.
take them to. Let's let you sit in court and sit there and wait for the people to come up on the prosecutors because they told you they got some stored witnesses for you. The
Yeah,
defense,
because they might just
the
stand there and make
DA.
you rot
Check it out, Regina.
check
Each
for
this
no
out.
one of
Check
his
this
reason.
out.
best friends, from the
Check
For
this.
first
sure.
to the last one, Regina, were testifying against him. But guess what? Let me tell you how God worked and my grandma worked. Each one of them lousy bastards that got up on that stand, they couldn't talk. All they could
Mm,
say out their mouth, I don't know what they were trying to say, but I'll tell you what they did say. The DA paid me to say this and for me to get up here. I don't know nothing they talking about, and they all lied. I've never seen a judge in the courtroom. Y'all had to be there to see this because I want y'all to see how things are instilled in us. That
yeah,
But
you're
last
right.
day of court.
well,
Do you remember Robin
what's
of
his
Channel
name
5 King?
from Warzone? Is that your people? He
Say that
said y'all.
again, Diva.
What, Deb?
You know,
Yeah,
you
Yeah, he
remember
said
I
Robin?
y'all.
see that.
Yeah, he said y'all been there before.
No, he
Oh,
said he
he
been
been
there
there
before.
before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I understand what she talking about because I had the same type of grandmother. I talk about my grandmama used to sleep with straws around her bed because she said that'll keep the bad spirits away. My grandmother was the type of grandmother that it could be
Somebody need
raining
to teach me some
outside and
better.
we sitting in there, no AC, nothing running, lights out and everything. But yeah, so she taught me a lot of morals and a lot of principles. And once your parent, see, that's one thing I always tell people. You might after you get a certain age, you might mix and mingle in the streets, but the morals and principles that you was taught, that never goes away. You just choose not to apply them, but they still in you. So like I said, I had a lot of family support. My grandmother taught me a lot of things from dealing with women to uh how to conversate, how to have a good heart. Don't give something to look for something in return, and not to how not to want to see somebody else struggle. So I learned a lot from her, what I'm saying, and my parents. So, and that what made me the man I am today. And that's why I can be around anybody and they'll gravitate to me. Because my grandmother said at the end of the day, if you don't do nothing, my
Equal.
grandmother always told me at the end of the day, if you don't do nothing, people respect authentic. People respect somebody who authentic all day long. So that's why I
Definitely.
try to be. That's why I try to be, and that's the moral and principle I stand on and I try to live by.
Definitely. That's why I be equal. I just want to be equal, and I'm gonna give equal. I'm not finna get nobody no more than what I'm gonna give myself. I probably give myself more than I'm gonna give that other person.
Yeah, that's a
You
that's a
know,
that's a
and that's
fact.
not being greedy either. Especially, and it's a lot of people out there that feel like because you for yourself you're being greedy. No, you're not being greedy because if you don't get nowhere, you're not taking me anywhere. So that means I have to do that myself.
My grand. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to cut
No,
you off.
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
baby. Go ahead. No, go
My
ahead.
grandmother, my grandmother said, "Why would you spend your time talking to somebody who can't teach you anything? What
That part.
can they teach you? What can they tell you? If they ain't doing." My grandmother said, "If you want to be broke, then you hang around broke people, and they're gonna be broke. If you want to be rich, then you hang around the type of people that be rich, and they're gonna show you how to get rich. If you want knowledge, you hang around somebody with knowledge. My grandmother always said, you put yourself in a position that you want to be in.
Mhm. That's true. And
Period.
that's very true. That's how you manifest about
Yeah,
what you want to like too, as well. Because then you
And
know what you want to go for. You know what I mean?
exactly.
And you won't go backwards.
So it just
Diva,
at the
who
end
was
of the
you asking me that I know?
huh?
Not Diva. Who did
Yeah.
you ask me that I know?
I don't know shit. I forgot. They keep cutting. See if I'm reading you and you keep cutting the spirit off, you will cut me off. Because see what happened is spirit don't understand that we talking because when it's given a prophecy or a message for you and it made me go a certain route, I have to go and continue. If you keep breaking me and interrupting it, then you
Yeah,
break and interrupt the spirit and it won't talk no more because it feel like I guess it's being disrespected, whatever. But while I was
that's
talking to him, I was talking like that because I was getting a reading from his grandma. She had tapped in for a little minute here. I tell people all the time that, I do medium. And I go back and forth with myself with this gift all the time because of what the church says, what the pastor teach you, what people say. But then I think to myself, who am I to allow anybody to stop me from what a gift that God has given me? If he didn't give it to me, I believe that he would take it away from me. I'm not a
Mhm.
witch. I'm not a sorcerer. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a gypsy. I'm not none of that. I'm not a psychic. Court, I don't do tarot cards, none of that. I am just truly naturally what God has made me to be. I don't understand it, but it is what it is, and I am who I am. So, with that being said, when your people pass over, just because they're not here physically, they're still here spiritually. We only using these vessels here that you see because this is how we need to see each other. But for you not to be here, from to be absent from the body is to be present with God. For some think that when the people die, that's just it, and there's no, well, that's not, couldn't be true. And I'm just being honest with myself because if death was just death and that was the end of it, there's no reason for us to live our life in an orderly manner as we try to, at least some of us. Because there's nothing to look after for if your life was just to stop there. Life doesn't stop. That's not the end for us. That is just the beginning to send us back to the realm of which we were born and which we even came from in the beginning. You just go
facts.
back and just like you're going to get re-up again and you go out to your next assignment. But understand this, each person that comes into our life, because with Adam and Eve, we were all sorted one place. How it all worked out, I don't know, but God had a hell of a plan and he put it in motion.
That's a fact. That's
And
definitely a
with
big
that being
fact.
said, the dead
The
knows
motion
what's going
without.
on with the living as always. And they always look for someone whom they communicate with. So say for instance, I come around Regina. She may have somebody that just had passed on, whatever the case may be, whatever. Just because somebody died. Could you imagine how much shit that dead people really, really, really have to say about some certain things? Some people, when you die, you don't cross over right away for whatever reason that may be in your course. Everybody that dies does not cross over right away. They do not. They do not. Some people still got unfinished business, baby. And if you had somebody that was an MF for while they was living and something was to happen to them, what make you think they finna lie down peacefully and just accept that is? I want my case solved. I
Hey,
want
Clint.
still justice. I need somebody to know. So with that being said, when I come
I
around people like you
knew
or someone, because your
it.
granny been around you all the time, she has never left your freaking side. She's never left you. So these lonely nights when we've been up and we've been thinking, because we didn't have some crying nights here. We just can't figure a couple of things out here. But if my grandma was here, she would know the exact thing to tell me. She said she saw your tears and she heard you, baby. She said your blessings is coming out for what she asked God to do for you in your life. Because she
Facts.
held grace with God. She was one of those true soldiers. I'm looking at her, baby. She didn't play. When she said get ready for church to come on, that's what she meant.
Yeah. And she
And you
was
don't
like
like
that
it,
too.
you don't like God, you don't like church, you better keep it to yourself. Don't let her know because she believe what she believe. And when the old saying is, when you know that you know that you know that you know that you know.
Yeah, that's a
'Cause
fact.
you know, 'cause you're gonna do it.
And the
Hey,
crazy, and
So
the
she
crazy,
said, understand that she had to go because you weren't that, yeah, you was kind of young here.
and the crazy thing is like you the how you talk, you describe. I could tell you got good sermon because you damn near describe my
I'm
grandmother
looking at her.
demeanor and everything.
I'm looking
That's
at her.
exactly how she was. That's exact on my daughters. That's exactly on my daughters. That's exactly how my grandmother was. Exactly like how you just
Just
See,
like
look
described.
at
I'm
it.
serious. She
She
said,
standing
baby,
right
I've
there.
been through a lot. She said, I've been through a lot. She said, I done seen a lot. She said, but she wants you to know this one message here, and don't you ever forget it, she says to you. She instilled herself into you. She gave you all the goodness and knowledge that she had inside her, and she poured it into you because she called you special. Not like the rest. It was just something about you. And let me tell y'all, they better not touch him. Nothing,
Crazy.
don't let it. Her baby, she says you are. She said you got it, and don't you ever forget it. Never look back, she says.
Crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I gotta cut you off. I'm sorry. That's crazy because those are things that my grandmother used to tell me. Like I'm
She's talking
special
to
and
you.
all of that. She
And
used to tell me that on my
she was
daughters.
sitting right
She
there
used
with
to
her.
tell
She
me the
talking to
exact same
you.
thing.
And she says you cutting her off, but she said she talking to you. She already knows. She said she just had to come by and
She's
stop by
crazy.
in physical form for you to physically her to get the confirmation that you are on the right track.
Mhm.
No, some things ain't easy, but she gave you eyes of discernment. She said use it. And this relates when it comes to these business deals and business stuff, because everything that sounds good ain't for the ear, ain't good for the stomach. You
That's a
got a
fact.
lot of
For
fakers and
sure.
stuff. You got a lot of leeches and mooches coming your way because of who you are and what you are beginning to come.
That part.
But
That's a
because of
fact.
your eyes and discernment, you know who, and what, and what. And you have so much charisma and respectfulness and a humbleness. Because if we was to go back for 15 years before, this wasn't nothing like this. We wouldn't even be having this little interview conversation and stuff like this.
That's a
God
fact.
says to tell him thank you. A 360
Thank you.
change meant what for you?
That's a fact.
Because
That's
what
a
was
fact.
meant for you, God said no. You know why no? Because we had that praying grandma that is still sitting on the right hand of God. Up there with the elders too, my ass. Ooh, she did. She said, baby, I did some good work. Yes, you did, honey. I
No,
love my
that's a.
gift. I
You
wouldn't
know
give
what?
this gift up for nothing in the world. You don't
You
know what
gotta
the
get it.
feeling is that I can read and see if somebody let them see through my eyes to see to you to talk to your soul, and I can hear them talking to me at the same time. And they showing me exactly what they talking about. I even see your grandfather, and he was a stern man.
Yes, he was. He
And
definitely
he was
was.
at his younger days, he said he was out to change his little pamphlet, you know.
He was. He was. Him
Mm.
and my dad. My father was like that too.
I
Like
was
Ain't it
it's
definitely
funny how
about
crazy.
to
you have
say
your
that.
ain't it funny how we have our grandparents and stuff and you know they was married and together and the
Yeah.
shit didn't work out. They
Boy,
separated,
it wasn't like
but
it
they
is
never
now.
divorced. Listen, and they never listen. My grandmother, my grandfather was for years. They was married when my think they got married. After they found out that they wasn't married until after they had my mom. It was a discrepancy with our last name because we didn't know that they weren't married, but we found out they got married not too much long after. I think she was like 2 or 3. They got married. They was married all the way up until they both died. My grandma just died. She was 97. My grandpa was 97. So these are old people. My grandpa was in World War, Mommy, whatever you want to call it, he was there. And all this stuff, when he came back, you know how war does some men. So let's say things went right. Check it out. Our older people, they would separate, but they never divorced. And even when you see them, I don't care what they did in dark, you wouldn't see them with nobody else, period.
No.
Never.
My grandmother and I didn't mean to cut you off, but my
You
grandmother and
fine.
grandfather like that. It was like that when they got separated. When they separated,
Both of
they
them said in unison
died.
since the kids was grown.
They died. Listen, it was so crazy that they died. They
Back to
died
back,
separated, but they still was married. Technically,
back to
they
back.
still was married. They never got a divorce.
They said they ain't too much longer left behind each other, back to back, back to back. Grease,
Yeah,
love, grease the soul.
yo, you got a gift, yo. You
Your,
definitely.
your, your grandma and grandpa, they funny because they talking together. They said in unison, they said they got divorced. They made sure y'all was grown to take care of and stuff first. And you know, hey, and they said they better friends than they was before. You
Yo,
see all these grown old
that's
people and stuff be married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years and on up, you know, ask her why. They say, baby, they say love ain't nothing like it is now. They say, you know why we be together 20, 30, 40, 50 years? They said because see, we work in compromise. It take a lot of love and compromise and understanding, forgiveness. I'm sorry, work it out. Even when you ain't just, I'm sorry, work it out, compromise, work them out, compromise, compromise. Because you're always learning each other. You're always growing with each other. You're always finding each other out. Yes, there's gonna be mistakes. Yes, there's gonna be incidents. Yes, some things happen. But it's the way that you hold on and you get through these things.
a fact.
That's how they learn each other. Everybody got together back then. They didn't love each other, I like, but they grew into love, different things.
That's a fact.
They said you children and these people will never understand this generation what love is because what's the first thing you do? Soon as something don't work, you gotta throw that out and buy another toaster. You gotta throw it out and buy this. Ooh, that ain't working out. She said it ain't gonna never work out because everything that you buy, you gotta what? Break it in first.
That's facts. That
It might
listen,
not
you
work the
smart.
first time. You gotta fix it right.
You gotta
That's the
give.
same thing within our life. I've never met you a day in my life. I don't know nothing about you. I ain't you see, I didn't even know your name when we first got on here because it looked like Bunz to me. And I just like that name anyway, Bun. So I think you
But
Bun to
you
me.
own. But I ain't mean to cut you off. But
Go ahead.
you own. It's like you had a it's like you had a camcorder. It's like you was watching. It seemed like you was watching as I was growing up because everything you
I
saying
did.
is facts. I
I
can't
went all
listen.
the
I
way
can't
back to
make
your
this up.
baby crib.
I
I
can't
went
make
all the way
this up.
back to the first day your mama brought you home to your grandmother. And she didn't bring you home to her house. She brought you home to your grandmother's house.
That's a fact. That's a fact because she was living. Yep, that's a fact because she was living my grandma. That's a fact. That's a
And
fact.
your
When I
grandma
left the
told you you ain't
hospital, I
finna be
went straight
lazy
to my
up in this
grandmother.
house. Your grandma tells your mom all the time, you ain't finna be lazy in this house and they got that baby in here. Get your ass on up to take care of that baby. You had him, didn't you?
That's listen. That part, I've been young. I don't know about that part, but I know when I left that hospital, my mother took me straight to my grandmother. That's a fact.
Yeah,
That's a
you
big
know how it
fact.
is with our parents sometimes, you know.
Yo, you got a gift, man. Like I don't
Well,
know
look
how
at
you know.
God.
I
Listen,
don't know how you know it. I
the
don't know how
best
you
is yet
know
to
a lot
come.
of this stuff. Huh?
The
I'm
best is
The
sorry.
yet
season
the
prophet.
best is yet to come. The best is yet to come.
You listen.
For much is required, too much is called, and much is chosen. For if God said that you weren't qualified, he went ahead and called you. If you wasn't chosen and had a mark on your life from your grandma, because she did this to you. That's why some things don't work out for you. That's why some places you go, you don't fit in. That's why some things now that you're doing, you feel uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with changing and moving up and elevating yourself. You're just maturing. You're just becoming into the man that God wants you to be. You got young men that's trying to adapt and follow after you. If I was you, I wouldn't even hesitate on waiting to start me a young man mentors program. You know how
Yeah,
many
and
young boys we got out
but
here
you know
that's
the
getting in
crazy,
trouble and stuff? You already
you
been
know,
thinking about it.
you know the crazy thing is, I I was mentoring. I was doing that type of work. I was
But Granny says,
mentoring
why did you stop?
little kids. Why did I stop mentoring? I stopped mentoring because I mean I ain't really got no excuse why I stopped. I guess I just lost interest, or I guess I mean other things came
Go back.
because the same way I was because I listen, I'll take like right now to this day, if I see a young kid that going the wrong way, I'll pull that kid to the side and talk to
And he listens
him
to you too.
and all that stuff because that's what I used to do because
This man here
I
could go find the worstest young man, the scariest young fucker that we got out there, the bad. I'm talking about the little bad nigga that don't curry. He don't curry. He was messed up. He got anger, hurt, all of it. Come across him and watch you calm in spirit. Change his direction. Change his
did that
life.
before. I did that before. I
I know
definitely
I'm
and
talking
you know the
about him.
crazy listen, you know the crazy thing about it is that I can meet one of them type of dudes and I could just talk to them and I can
They
look in
want
their
to talk
eyes
to
and I
you.
can talk to them and they take what I say like very like if I tell them something they don't like second guess it. And the thing about it is the reason why I started mentoring young men because when I was growing up I had my family and but when I was in the streets I didn't really have nobody to mentor me like that and I feel like just because the mistakes that I made when I was out there. if I see somebody heading down the same road, I try to for just because I made the mistakes doesn't mean they have to make the
You got
mistake.
delivery. Mhm. When I first got on the line with you earlier, I told you that you reminded me so much of DMX. Do you know why? So we know who DMX was. We know about him. We know the drugs and all that. I love DMX, and I'm gonna tell you why. People could be so judgmental because of what they see a person do. They feel the need to judge because of what they thought they knew about him. But check this out. Let me tell you something about DMX.
He don't
Yeah,
hear it.
DMX
He
had
didn't
DMX
hear it.
had an issue. He did. We know that. But guess what else DMX had?
He had sermon because he was always he
He
was
had
always,
God in his soul. He knew who he was.
yeah.
Especially at the end of his life, like definitely he went strong with it too as well.
The
He
Um,
crazy,
even went back and preached the word because that
yeah,
was the timing of his life. That's why he fought and
definitely.
went through so hard that he do.
Hmm.
Don't you know when you got some goodness inside of you like that, the devil tried his best to destroy you and take you down. And that's
Yeah,
what DMS did. But just know this, he got the victory, even in the end. He just
he
made a
did.
mistake.
I think
because
he
I
went
And what's so
downhill.
fucked up about it?
I
Somebody
think he
brought it
went
around him.
downhill after
It wasn't a thought
Aaliyah,
of his.
definitely.
and
DMS,
Aaliyah,
he would have still been here.
the
yeah.
But
crazy thing
somebody
is,
came around him. A
yeah,
person
Mhm.
that's fighting a habit, they can smell that shit a mile away. So why would you do that? But they reaping their karma.
and
DMS all right.
you know the crazy thing about it, the type of caliber. Now we talking about a man who dropped 2 albums in 1 year, and both of them went multi-platinum. So you think you would have seen him, and the rest of his albums went platinum. You would thought you would see him riding in Rolls Royces
No,
But he
and
didn't. He
platinum
no.
didn't.
jewelry. Listen, I met DMX. I don't know if y'all remember back in the, because I'm from Charleston, right? But Myrtle Beach is like 2 hours away from where I'm from. And
See, we
it
gotta
was
go
one
there.
year, when Rough Riders, who he was
Yeah,
signed to
I
in
was
Cash
just
Money,
about to say
and
that.
when he came out there, I messed
Yeah.
around and I bumped into him, and I bumped into a few more of them guys, and I was talking to him, man. And
Ask him about it.
even when I was talking to him, he was like I was watching him on TV because he was like really like preaching to me. He was like dropping. He was like, "Look," he said, what he said. He
He
said, "Look,"
said, yo, you gotta put
he
your heart
said,
and
"The way you
soul.
move," he said, "the way you move gonna dictate." He said, "The way you move is gonna
Dictate.
he said the way you move is gonna dictate where you're going.
Yep.
And if you
Definitely.
don't know where you're going," he
You're
said,
gonna
"if
be
you don't know
lost.
where you're going, then
Yep.
you can't possibly know how to move." I said,
That
and
part.
I said, can you repeat that again? And
I
And that's
said
he
true.
dropped that on me, and I start thinking, I was like, this
Hmm.
man is, I was like, he on point.
I
Yeah.
ain't
Like,
even gonna lie to you. I always picture DMS calling me on the phone. I swear to God, he'd be like, hey, yo, hey, yo, it's
yo,
DMS.
he,
Hey, what
yo,
doing
he,
on the phone?
he one of the
And you want
coolest.
some sugar and some lemon.
Listen, let me tell you, I watched DMX gave out almost like $5,000 to 6,000 at Bikers Week. He was just giving people, honey. Every homeless
He
person
love
he see,
people.
he was giving them like money and and I felt like I felt like the people that was around him, they
You meant to
they
know good.
they knew he was making. They knew he was. In actuality, DMX was like he could have been a multi-millionaire, but DMX didn't care. You could have
Well,
seen
you
he
know,
was.
he was, but he had some issue and he was just, when you got a habit and stuff, you can't pay attention to some things. And they got that good dope. He didn't have that little fake pretendo stuff we got. So he had a serious little, habit when he was in this shit. But out
Yeah,
of that came
that's because
his
that was the
realness.
people that was around him though. You know what I
And he
mean?
had a
When you
purpose.
got people around you that's doing stuff like that and not even participating on what you supposed to been doing in the first place as a team, as a group, or however you want to call it, it just goes downhill because then you start partying because you see everybody else
Yeah,
partying. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it's
yeah.
just like, okay, well, if they can do it, I can do it, but I could be stronger and I won't go downhill. But you
He
never
was
know
going
how life treats you when you feel like you're in the right place in the right hands too as well. Because definitely it won't go right if you think too hard about a situation or a person. it,
Yes.
it it really doesn't go well. It really don't, because
You
definitely
knew you
you
was
putting
real.
yourself
Yeah.
in other people's shoes, and it's not for you.
And I brought that up because the realness that he has in his music and just the way he talked, the way he thought, you have so much of that essence of you and yourself that you carry. That makes you just the realness, rawness of you. Don't you
Appreciate
ever
that.
lose that. The soundness of your voice. You can hear your story in your words.
Yeah,
Whatever you keep doing, whatever find your happiness, whatever makes you happy, grab that sucker by the horns and ride it all the way out. Cause it's your time.
his
I got
music,
God
because he
says there's
definitely
nothing
made
holding
well
you back
about
at
it.
this point except for
Mhm.
yourself.
And I appreciate that.
Spirit is not God. This one last step that you need to take. Stop down yourself. Make your mind up. Set your goals. Set your mark. I don't care if you gotta fail. If you fail, you won't make it. You
Yeah,
don't know if you're gonna fail or not because you ain't stepped out on the porch yet, baby. You ain't raining out there. You can go outside.
That's a
and
fact.
not even that,
Step
and not
into the
even that, you
stage
won't
into
be
your
able to.
life.
You can't even be strong and handle things that comes at you too as well.
And
That's a
God see
fact.
your
You have
humbleness
to
of
you
your
have
heart.
to fail to learn how to be strong.
And
That's
God
a
sees the
fact.
humbleness of your heart. You're very much humble. So when you get something, we already know ain't about the money and stuff like that. So now at this
Nah,
point, it's okay
not
for
with
you to
me.
accept some things for ourselves here because we need what we getting ready to get for ourselves. God say He handing it to you. This torch
And
is yours to light and let it burn, not for you to run and pass it. Cause see, we've been letting people, yeah, you go ahead, you can do this. Yeah, it's your turn. Let them same people route for you. And if they don't route, that's okay. Cause even God said, you ain't gotta be, you ain't gotta praise me, baby. What I make the rocks cry out. I don't need you.
that's a fact.
Watch what God getting ready to do in your life here.
And you know the
And I don't
crazy
know,
thing?
we're just thinking here about the moving here. We thinking
Let
about
him
moving
speak, people.
or moving
No, you
around.
no, she good. She good. You can go ahead. You can go ahead. We all family. You can go ahead.
Okay.
This is our family talk.
Yeah, see, this is how
Okay.
this spirit goes, Regina. I hear him talking to me, and it's still gonna talk too, and it just coincides all together.
Yeah, but we
Cause I'm
don't know
just
what
reading
he's
his
trying to
mind.
say though. That's what I'm
You
saying.
don't
That's all.
know.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to know. So that's why I want him to tell us.
The crazy thing about it, I know I was here for a reason because it been many situations that I've been in that it wasn't supposed to turn out how it's supposed to turn out, and me still being here. Like it seemed like if I get it, it seemed like if I get in a situation, it never turns out like bad. It always when I think it's gonna turn out bad, it always turn out good, and I'm like, I gotta be here for a reason because ain't no way one person could get that lucky.
It
You
ain't
see what I'm
blessings,
saying?
blessings. I told you living out the
Right.
So
blessings of your granny.
so I need and then another thing too, what I respect about DMX. I seen that the Rough Riders documentary, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw DMX when he had the behind the scene, the VH1 behind the scene. This man was crying. Now it takes a real man to show his emotions, like
Mm-hmm.
how he show his emotion. And then when I saw him on stage crying, and you got 50,000 people
He didn't care.
crying with him, like, and that's the authentic as doing music. That's really the person that I really want to follow in his footsteps.
Right.
Out of any other rapper, that if I had to follow his footsteps, it would be him.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause he had a story to tell, and it was authentic, and he wasn't scared to. He was humble because he wasn't flashy, and he wasn't scared to let his emotion erupt.
You
So
see, he
Yeah.
came out. He said, "I don't like Drake." He said, "I don't like Drake. No, I don't
Yeah.
fuck with him
He,
now." He was
pretty much.
very clear about who he mess with and who he don't mess with too. Just straight like that in your face. He ain't even do behind your
Yeah.
back stuff. I just real like that.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta express yourself too, as well.
yeah,
You know what I mean? In a real way.
yeah,
And be yourself. Be yourself. You know what I mean? And just express who you are and what you want to get out there in the universe. Definitely, because it's gonna come right back to you.
That's I was about to say that. I was about to say that. Whatever you put in, and I also was taught that too. Whatever you put in the universe, it's make sure you put positive. If you put positive out there, you won't get positive back. You put negative out there, you put negative back. But at my journey, like I got a lot of people has been with me on this journey, and a lot of people wasn't with
Dropped
me on
out.
this journey.
Yeah, just
But
dropped
a
out.
lot of,
Right,
and
and
the
you still
thing,
got
and
your in between people as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
and the crazy thing about it is that you always got people who always for some reason they're there at the end of your success when you're blowing up, but they're not there at the beginning of the journey. And then you got those type of people feel like because you make it, they're entitled to make it too. But
true.
I always tell people all the time, it's like if you can't get nothing if you haven't put in the work.
Right.
I
That
agree.
just that just so I try to I try to modify myself as I mean, like I don't try to stereotype. I don't try to get in the hype. I don't try to get in the mess. Like I'm not really an argument person, or I
Right.
don't like, get online and argue with other guys, or I don't really do stuff like that because I feel like that right there take me out my element. I like the more I be humble, the more opportunities and the more doors gonna open up for me. And if I be more positive, if I be more positive then God gonna then if I be negative, God ain't gonna never be able. I ain't gonna never be able to hear what God trying to. I ain't never gonna be able to hear what God got for me,
Right.
because my mind gonna be so flooded to the point that I ain't gonna never hear what God got for me. But if I, but like this, like this interview right here, this interview, I really appreciate y'all for this interview. And like I said, if I'm negative then God, my mind gonna be so corrupt to the point like I ain't gonna even when God send me a sign, I ain't even gonna be able to see it. That's why my grandmother said, always keep your mind open and always stay positive, because if you stay positive then you can digest what God trying to tell you. And she said always pay attention to the signs. And then she
Mhm.
used to tell me about this story about it was a little man, and it was a man in this village, and the village got flooded, and he was standing on top of a rock or something. And she said when the first man came in the boat, tried to pick him up, and he was like, no, I'm gonna wait for God. And then the second man, he said the same thing, and the third man. But to make a long story short, the man died and went to heaven. And when he met God, he said, God, I was waiting for you to come get me. Why you ain't come and save me? And
I
God told him,
did.
I saved you. God said, I saved you. I came 3 times and you rejected me. So that right there taught me how to pay it, to keep my mind open, stay focused, and stay positive.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I stay positive, then I can digest what's for me. You know.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Definitely.
I ain't heard that story in a long time. I haven't
Definitely.
heard that one in a
Hey, check the
while.
chat, Burnz.
Uh,
Yeah, because
all
everything is
right,
true.
I got you.
It's
I
true.
got you. I'm about to screenshot it right now. I got you.
I love
And
this, Regina.
like I said,
I love you too.
You know I love you, Ken. Don't be looking like that. Love both of y'all.
He done pressed the wrong daggone button again.
He'll be back in a couple of minutes. Now, with
Yeah.
these messages from my sponsors, this is a worldwide collaboration. We're a movement
my
beyond
fault.
borders.
I'm sorry about that, but like I said, I just try to stay positive and try to keep my mind open and just try to stay on the right track and just try to stay authentic. Because
Mhm.
that's what gonna make staying authentic and staying humble and believing in God and paying attention to the signs, and that gonna keep me well rounded, and that gonna keep me safe. So that's why I always stay humble. I don't get on here. I don't flex. I don't do none of that, because at the end of the day, that means nothing, because God gave me all that. God put that. And my grandmother used to always tell me too, God never gonna God gonna never put too much on you which you can't bear. But don't take the success, or don't take what he's giving you for granted, because the same way he give it, he can take it at the same time. So I always keep
I
that in
agree.
mind. So I
That's
always keep
true.
that. Yeah, so that's why I always keep that in mind, and that's why I was blessed to have a grandmother that taught me these morals or
Mhm.
principles, or however you want to call it. So I was really like blessed. So that's why when people be like, "Yo, you should be talking your shit, you should be," and I'm like, no, because God didn't give me that gift, and He didn't give me the success I'm about to get for me to be braggadocious, or for me to downplay somebody, or for me to be arrogant. He didn't
Right.
give me. He didn't give me that. He didn't give me that blessing for that. He give me that blessing because he know I got a story to tell. He know I got a story to tell, and I'm not good at writing a book, so He gave me the next best gift to let people hear my story. So people might hear my story. That's why, if you notice, if you listen to my songs, even the first one I did off the instrumental, I always talking about my story, because I rather, instead of talking about oblivious stuff, I'd rather tell my story, because there's somebody in the world that foot is right in my shoes that could relate and could learn from what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, but
Yep.
yeah,
Whatever
this
you give out, that's what you get back.
Yeah, and I told y'all this interview was this was a nice. It felt like an interview, but it felt like I was sitting with family.
You are.
You know
You
what I
were,
mean?
well, you was there with family because your grandma popped in, just like, hey,
Yeah,
let me talk to my
that's
grandbaby.
that's that's the feeling. That's the feeling that I got like
She
I'm
said that's
sitting with
what
my
she wanted
family
you to have.
relatives, and we just politicking, and we just talking, and stuff like that. You know, I mean, and when you get in an environment like that, and you get around a bunch of group of people like yourself, and you feel like that, that means y'all the type of people that I need to have in my circle, and y'all the type of people I need to be
I want
affiliated
to be
with.
back on the
Because
phone.
if you can sit with a group of people, or you can sit with a couple of individuals, and it don't feel like how it's supposed to feel, then that means those are the type of people you need to affiliate yourself with. So, you know what I mean? So I adopted y'all for my family now. So I will be
Oh, well,
checking in.
thank
So I
you.
will be checking in, and if
Hey.
anything I can do, or any connects that I got, because I got a few plugs, and any plugs and connect that I got, and I can help any artists or anybody that y'all got, or that y'all trying to get to, or y'all trying to get lifted. I do the graphics. I know if y'all been on my page, y'all see the graphics that I do for my songs. Like
Mhm.
for y'all, I'll do the graphics for y'all artists for free. Uh, any connection with any shows, I will. I can give y'all some information, or you know what I mean. Just whatever. It's about giving back. Sometimes it ain't about receiving and not giving. You can't receive all the time and don't give,
Right.
Well, bye.
because
That's true.
you're not going to keep a blessing. You're not going to keep a blessing that long if you receive and don't give.
Right.
So, and that's why when I can, I might share a little bit of knowledge. I might get a little plug, or somebody might ask me to do artwork for them. No problem. But y'all family, so y'all ain't even gotta ask me twice. So
Oh,
just notice that. So
that's
just
a
know
good.
this ain't gonna be our last conversation we gonna be
No,
having,
it
because
is not.
I
Definitely.
definitely,
And I definitely want to collaborate with you because
yeah,
I gotta, yeah,
I
I
definitely gonna be,
definitely,
and I'll tell you this: if they're gonna send me the link for the hip hop award weekend. I did the BET weekend this year, and I did it last year, and I was invited back this year, but the people that sponsor us is Too Hot Radio out of Atlanta. So what they did, they collaborated with BET, and they bring the artists to, instead of the labels and A&Rs got to go looking for the artists. It's every year they have that one event where they bring the artists to them.
In the
You
world.
yeah.
see what I'm saying? And the artists can show their talent or whatever. But they
Mhm.
also do that with the hip hop award weekend too. They also do that with the hip hop award weekend too
I'm
in
on the
Atlanta, where
camera.
you can go and perform. And there's a
Mhm.
possibility. I done seen. I done seen somebody perform and got signed straight off the stage and changed their whole life, like a nobody.
Yeah. So what
Uh,
stage was that? So let me write
so
that down.
they're gonna be sending me the link sometime in September, and it's easy. It's no cost to sign up. Uh, you sign up, they give you a date and a time to Zoom, and when they give you that date and time, you Zoom up, and it's just like an audition. You got 60 seconds. You do your thing. You press them. They invite you out there. Now the only thing is you got to pay your own way to get out there, but I guarantee you it's gonna be worth it because
Right.
you're not gonna be behind no barricade. You're gonna be mixing and mingle with record labels, A&Rs. Like, listen, I met Chris Brown.
Definitely.
I met
I'm
Neo.
looking for sponsors. So definitely, if you got anybody in mind that would love to sponsor, I'm definitely looking for sponsorship.
I know, 'cause I've been, like I said, I've been networking. I just been networking on Instagram for damn near 3 years, 3.5 years. So,
Really?
and a lot of people like dealing with me because just the same way you did, because of
Mhm.
my talent. It's because of my talent and humbleness. Now, if I would have been on live yesterday when you've been on live acting all ignorant and stuff like that, you probably wouldn't have deal with me. But you know what I mean? I was on there. I was showcasing my talent. Yeah, I get a little hype sometimes because I'm passionate, and people do
Mhm.
that when they're passionate about what they
Yeah,
do. And like I
definitely.
say, I just appreciate the opportunity that you even give me your platform to even come and talk and just politic and just have a conversation. So that's a blessing in itself. So because
Yeah,
I
you
just don't look at
definitely
you.
are able to come anytime you want. You can jump on anytime you want. Just, I'll send you the link. That's all you gotta do is just let me know.
Yeah,
I got you.
I appreciate that because, like I said, like I told you in the beginning of
I'm
this,
at the
I
garage.
don't look at y'all no different from me being on Funk Master Flex or Bars I 95 or Drink Champ or any one of them. I don't look at y'all no different. I treat y'all just like how I treated y'all and what I talk about. If I was on one of their platforms, I would did the same thing. I would have been 20 to 30 minutes early, and I would have handled myself professionally, and I would have talked and I would have dropped jewels. That's why I would have did. So you know
So
what I'm
you ain't
saying?
gonna do like Trump did when he got to the Black Caucus?
Mhm.
Nah, nah.
He told her,
I
he
listen.
said, baby, he said, check this out. He said, man, I was here extra early. He said, yeah, I was 35, 45 minutes late. That's rude as hell. I was here early on time.
But let me tell you something.
Time means a lot.
People,
Punctuation.
people, people deal with you by the way how you stand on business.
Period.
I agree.
So just imagine if she have an event, right? Let's say Regina have an event, and Regina like, yo, Burnz, I want you to come out there. By she knowing that I'm on time, she know for a fact that I'm gonna be on time when I showed up. She gonna automatically know if it got to do with music. Burns showing up. That's how you build up trust. That's how you build up loyalty. That's how you build up friendship, and friendship lead to relationship, where relationship leads to getting to that bag.
That
Period.
part. Period. And I am on it.
I'm gonna
Yes.
have to have you. I'm gonna have to have him on my show too, Regina. I'm gonna have to borrow your guest. He's gonna have to come over to my show too. I'll have to talk
I'll
to him
think
about
about
that.
it. I don't know if you know what I'm thinking right now, but I'll
I don't
think
know, but you
about
could
it.
come
No, I'm
too,
just
Regina. King too. We gotta come on my side.
playing.
Like my mother, like my
Yeah,
grandmother used to always tell me this too. She said, if you carry yourself like a man, people will treat you like a man. If you carry yourself like a boy or a teenager, that's how they're gonna treat you. And
She
like I
said
got
she
many.
raised a gentleman and a young man.
Yo, listen, the
definitely.
sh- the street stuff,
Thank you, boo.
the streets. Like I tell people, I wasn't gonna get on here and, like I said before, like I wasn't gonna get on here and make y'all think like, oh, I came from the
Yes, you
projects, from the
was.
pussy
Yes, you
hallways.
was. You said you
No,
was gonna tell us about that one thing.
no. No, I chose to be in the streets. That was my choice. It had nothing to do with my parents. It had nothing to do with my grandmother because they taught me to be. But see, and this why goes to tell a lot of people, even though I was in the street, I never lost that moral and principle. And actually, that moral and principle is what got me where I'm at today. Because it didn't matter what I did in the street, I always thought back to that morals and principle. My grandmama said, if somebody come and tell you something that you don't, if a stranger come and tell you something that you don't know, then take heed to it because it's something
Mhm.
that they know that you don't know.
They say if you get too much and too broke, you know too much, and can't nobody tell you nothing, then it's time for you to go.
Exactly.
So you don't
You
want to
can't.
get to the point that you can't nobody tell you nothing, because if you can't tell you nothing, what you here for?
And like I said, I wasn't gonna come on here and run all my accolades and this and that. And I just touch on. I'm that type of person. I'm not really braggadocious. I mean, I just
You ain't
touch
gotta
on
be. Your
certain.
stamina speaks for itself.
Yeah, and I just touch on certain things just to let people know, like, look, like Regina, when she came in the live, I could have played one song and then just don't play no more music and just talk. But by her seeing the passion and by her seeing that I have a catalog of songs, and that lets her know, like, okay, this guy working. This guy is
Mhm.
definitely working. So that's why I try to do. I just try to, because I got a very small circle, musically wise. I got a very small circle. I'm that guy. My grandma always teach me this too, and this what got me here too. If you make yourself if you make yourself too accessible, nobody gonna value your time.
Mhm.
But if you don't make yourself accessible, everybody gonna try to get to you because they wanna either be around you, work with you, or talk to you because you're not that accessible to get to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cause
that's
we
how
in
I
the kitchen,
am.
girl.
And definitely I do get back, but I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get back if you don't explain what I'm messing around with you for.
Listen, and like
Because
I said,
some people
I
just don't stand on business. They be calling you on some unnecessary things, on some sexual stuff, or they trying to like no. I business, okay? Stick with the business. What are you contacting me for? I want you to contact me if you want to do something about your career. That's all I want. I don't need you to call me and ask me, am
tell
I
you
in a
this, and
relationship
I tell
and
you
none of that.
this, and I tell you this. If it's all about each one teach one. If there's
Right.
any information or anything that you can do to help me, and if anything I can do to help you, that's how it's supposed to be. And that's in our culture. That's where we lacking. Rock and
Mm-hmm.
roll, country, they help each
Yeah.
other. They put each
Mm-hmm.
other on. But in our culture, if we see somebody that's far ahead of us, we get jealous. We get
Yeah.
instead of we giving them their flowers, we get jealous. We get
Yeah.
jealous. Why we
Yeah.
can't give people their flowers like rock and roll do? Rock and roll, they help their people. Country, they help their people. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But in our culture, let just a random dude come on here and I'm like, yo, I got a deal or this and that. The first thing they envy off the gate. But I always tell people, like, hard work pays off.
It do.
If you don't work, you're not gonna get it. Like, if it's sleepless, I sacrifice a lot to get where I'm at.
Definitely.
A lot to get where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Some situations I've been in, I didn't want to be in. But I've been in this situation because every situation I get in, I know there's a light at the end of that tunnel.
Definitely. And that's
And
how
if
you
it
have to
ain't,
see it.
And if there ain't a light at the end of the tunnel, when I get down there, I'll pick one down there. But it's
That
gonna be
part.
a light.
It is.
I'm gonna
It
be down
definitely
there.
is.
I'm gonna strike a match.
Yeah, something. There's gonna be a light.
No.
But I could talk to y'all forever, man. Like I haven't had a
Mhm.
conversation like this in years because a lot of interviews that I did in the past, they dig more into like music. And I always tell some people, like, look, it ain't always got to be about the music. We could talk about anything. You know, it's about the vibe, and it's about the
Mhm.
getting to know each other, because we didn't know each
Mhm.
other before.
Right.
You know, like God said, with more than one in the midst,
Well,
you can
2 or 3 are
accomplish.
gathered in my name. There I be also.
Mhm. The same thing I just said before we got on here. And not even that, I talk about everything. We talk about everything. I don't care what it is.
Especially after 11:30. Shit,
Tap,
9 o'clock.
listen,
9 o'clock is warming up. It's gonna be on.
listen. I'm a definitely. Every time y'all go, I'm gonna definitely make it my business to tap in, and when I see y'all I tap in, and sometimes I might just message y'all and see what y'all doing, like, you know, I might just be like, yo, how you doing, like, yo, listen, one thing about me, and I, you know, and one thing about me, when you my friend. I don't care if I know you 3 days,
Ooh,
4 days,
no, you didn't
a
just
week,
say
2 weeks. When you my friend, you always my friend, and you can get the shirt off my back. I got friends on Instagram right now that I've been knowing maybe 3, 4, 5 months. They call me, hey Burnz, I need some help. You can help me. What you need help on? Yo, man, I'm on this Wi-Fi. Can you help me pay my? I got you. Say no more. Like with my friends, I don't do that to everybody, but I do that to people that sincerely like my friends. Like people who is authentic and we're friends, not somebody who just claim they be a friend. They this
and
way
want to
one minute.
use you for what you got, and they ain't even understanding how you got it and what you working for it for. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Definitely. Just yeah, you got
like
that right.
like I said, a lot of people ain't know I'm a like I was on Instagram live and we was talking, and they was like, yo, where you work at? I said, I work at Burger King. They start laughing. I said, wait a minute, I work at Burger King as a district manager. You do know what that means, right? That means I
Yeah.
monitor like 2, 3, 4 Burger Kings. Like I don't have to do no manual labor. Or when I said that, then they set back like, oh, okay. See, that's what people like that. That's what you don't. I say, I don't care what y'all said. It helped me feed my kids. It helped take care of me. It helped pay my bills. While y'all on Instagram all day talking about music, I'm working.
Right.
I'm making a
That
living.
part. Hmm.
I'm making a living
You need what?
until I get a check, until I get a check from music that says Burnz, you can retire, you don't have to work no more. That's when I'll start
Hmm.
working. I
That
don't even
part.
care if I got. I don't even care if I got a million views on Spotify. I don't care if I got 2 or 3 albums out or whatever. Until I get a check that says by the numbers that says Burnz, you can retire. You don't have to work no more. You can live the rest of your life until six carry you off. That I'm gonna keep working.
But you make sure you do that yourself, so you know you don't have to look at nobody else to do it for you.
Oh no, I listen. I've been on my own since I was 17 and 18. I learned about life at an early age. The cards that you dealt, yeah, you got to play the cards that you dealt. But if you
Hmm.
play it right, you have a good result.
Yeah,
See
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
that's true.
So,
And like,
so,
I used
And
to be an
check your
area
text.
coach too. I used to be an
huh?
area coach. I used to be an area coach for Taco Bell.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Ooh, you
so
want to hear about when I got my job at Taco
I
Bell?
ran a lot of restaurants in my llifetime, definitely,
They
and
pay
Regina,
me
you would have
pretty
fired
good.
me.
Check your
huh?
They
text,
pay
Regina,
me
Jenny.
pretty good. They
Regina
pay
would have
me.
fired me. She
Yeah,
would
Listen,
have fired me. I got fired at
listen,
Taco Bell my first day. Well,
listen.
actually,
they,
it was the second and a
yeah,
half
because they
day.
definitely pay up to 40 plus a year.
I make listen with my as a district with my experience. I get paid a little bit more than that. It ain't a whole lot more, but it's a little bit more.
Just
I say
because it's
I
a
say
restaurant don't mean you ain't gonna get paid.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Them checks be looking super good. I ain't lying.
Yeah.
It feel
Gina,
good.
check your
It
text.
it
Hmm.
it feel good. And I tell people, I say, listen, you laughing at me for working at a restaurant, but you don't do nothing but sit on Instagram all day long arguing about who's the best, who's the nicest, who got the best songs, who doing what, who doing this. And then you got the guys on Instagram that be like, well, I'm signed to this person, I'm signed to Colombia. I'm signed to Rock Nation. Well, why you talking to me? Why you ain't somewhere in the Bahamas drinking on a pina colada? Because I know if I was signed to Rock Nation, if I was signed as an artist to any major label, I'd have been somewhere on the island or something. My feet kick up playing in the water or something. I would not be on Instagram arguing with you.
Check your
Where's my
text, Gina.
calculator?
That
That's
part.
why I said sometimes people gotta, a lot of people like the persona because the persona give them a type of attention. And when you get a person that paint a persona just to get the attention, that'll let you know automatically that growing up they didn't really get that much attention. So they trying to do everything they can to get attention, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
That's true.
Come on, I
So
know you're outside.
so it is what it is. But I appreciate I like I said, I appreciate y'all sharing the platform with me and just let me vent and just really just you don't meet a whole lot of people that like to get to know about somebody, you know what I mean? And like I said,
Yeah.
trust me, I look at this as another and whenever I get in a big interview, like once I get to where I need to be and I hit one of them $1 million platforms and they asking me questions. Y'all gonna be listen. It's a lot of platforms I've been on, but y'all two gonna be mentioned in that conversation on how when I started
Or just
interviewing.
know you stuck with us.
No, y'all stuck with me.
That part.
I'm
Ain't
trying
no
to
way around it.
take me with you
Y'all,
because I'm trying to get
And you
out there and
never
talk
know.
to the celebrities.
Well, I'm gonna say my platform is gonna be the richest. It definitely is because I have been multitasking different types of situations, different types of topics, different types of people, different types of everything, and I feel like just to intervene with people just like me or not like me to get an understanding how everybody works, how
yeah.
everybody like coming together with one another, who can do what, who can't do what. So you know where to put people in place too as well.
And I tell you this,
Check your text, Gina.
I tell you this too, Regina. I tell you this too. I know a lot of people. My friends be asking me. I got friends that do music, right? And they always ask me like, "Yo, won't you put me on to a plug or won't you put?" I said, "Listen, because I used to live in Cali for a long time, and I used to when I was living in Cali, I met Game. I met Game through a guy that lived in my neighborhood, and we was in downtown Hollywood one day, and he took me to Game Studio, and I was chopping it up with him, and I still got his info to this day. I met his family and everything, and but I don't call him for nothing, or I don't bother him or nothing
Mhm.
like that. But I think the last time I talked to him was like a couple months ago. But the thing about it is that boy put me, and I'm gonna tell you this. This a fact. And this how y'all can tell I'm humble. Guess who my cousin is? My first cousin.
Who?
Charlemagne the
Who is
God.
it?
Charlemagne the God. Google him.
Wow.
Word?
He's from Moncks Corner, South Carolina. That's next to Charleston, South Carolina. That's my first cousin. I can tell you how he started it. I can tell you how he got to where he at and how he started it. We both started when we started music. I was an intern on our radio station in Charleston, South Carolina. Then he came and and once I got on, he came and he didn't came in as an intern because he had the experience. He came in as a personnel and he hosted the freestyle. We used to have this thing called freestyle at night, and he was hosting that. And then he left and he went to New York, and then he hooked up with some people. And then the next thing I turn around and look, him and a couple more other people, they got together and they started this breakfast club. And like I said, that's my first Leon. That's my first cousin. I know his mom. His mom is my aunt. I mean, like I said, and I don't, and a lot of people would think like I would try to use him to get, because they don't interview everybody from Jay-Z to Puffy to Kevin Hart to Catwood. They don't interview everybody, but I'm so humble and I'm so independent So I feel like, cause he always tell me all the time, yo, cuz if you ever need something, man, I know all these artists, cause I interview them, I know all these. He said, I probably can't get you on the baby because I messed that up. But he almost got fired because, and I know y'all heard the rumors that Jay-Z almost got him fired. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Because he explained it to me. He said like 2 or 3 months before the interview, before they booked the interview, they reach out to the publisher, to the publishing. They publishing is contact them, and if they're willing to do the interview, then they the publisher talk to the artist, and the artist give the questions that they want the interview to ask. So when they come there, the interviewer already have the questions. It's question that they could ask and question that they can't ask. And he just got besides himself and started asking questions that wasn't even on the cue card. And he almost got fired. And then on another incident, he did the same thing with Baby, but Jay-Z was humble. Baby wasn't going for that. And he was like, he said Baby almost got him fired. So, but and that donkey of the day that y'all used to hearing, we made that up in the hood. It's a guy that lived in my neighborhood called Marley Marl. If y'all Google his song, he got a song called Act a Donkey. He's from Charleston, South Carolina. Our area code is 843. He got 843 on the cover. We created that in the hood. And he also took that and took it with him. And he made that popular because now people be like, oh, he get the donkey of the day. But that's my first cousin. And people will actually think like I will like piggyback off him, but I don't. I never called that
Right.
boy. I never asked him to put me in a situation. I never asked him to introduce me to anybody because I feel like I want to get there through my hard blood, sweat, and tears. I
Mhm.
know he's there if I need him, he's there, but I don't wanna pick I wanna have my own lane, my own image. I don't want to get on and people be like, yo, he got you on, which could be good, but I appreciate it more if I put in that blood, sweat, and tears instead of just having somebody to lay out the red carpet for me. You
Yeah.
know, even though he had to work to after people try to slander his name, talking about he raped a young girl. And I remember I was young, but I remember that situation. He did not rape that young girl. That young girl had liked him and was fascinated, and she lied to him, and she didn't tell him how old she was because we was all at a house party, and she didn't tell him how old she was. She told him she was in her 20s and she was not, and she started messing with him. And nobody put a gun to her head and tell her to start dealing with him. So him assuming that she was 22 or however old she was, he didn't force herself on her. She slept with him because if she would have forced herself, if he would have forced. I tell people, if my cousin would have forced himself on that girl, he wouldn't been where he was at right now. Why he ain't got locked up back then? And he was old enough to get locked up. Why he ain't got locked up then? You see what I'm saying? And that's why.
Yeah,
And
and
even
not
though
even
people,
that back then, it was a lot of young girls out there that was not telling their age. They was lying about their age just to get where they need to go. That's because they
Yes,
didn't
sir.
have family too.
when
Um,
he told me some darkest secrets about a
yeah,
lot of those rappers, man. He told me some dark secrets about a lot because they talk off a camera, and
yeah.
he told me he was like with that because I be asking him when he be calling me. The last time I talked to him was about a month ago, something like that. Cause my uncle had died and he went to the funeral. I didn't went, but he flew to Carolina. He went to the funeral and he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, where you at?" I was like, "Yo, I'm in Montana." He was like, "Oh, I thought you was down here." And I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna see you at the next family reunion." He was like, "Yo, when you up on our area, you can stop in the station." I was like, "Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, I'm good." But he was telling me about Puffy and that whole situation, and he was like he got invited to a white party, but he didn't win. But he said he had friends that went, and it's what they say is true. But I mean, he tell me a lot of stuff about a lot of those rappers, and he gave me a real insight on. Well, he told me, he said, "Lil Cuz, look," because he older than me. He was like, "Lil Cuz, look, I'm gonna tell you what you're getting into. If you want to get into it, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you." He said, "I'm gonna let you know what you need to know so you can stay away from certain things." He told me. He told, and if y'all wondering, it ain't no thing as Illuminati, but it is some people that control the music and all of that, and certain people that's gatekeepers that can blackball you. Or if you don't be down with them, they know other people that could put a stop on whatever you doing. Meaning, like, people don't work with you, or people don't want to affiliate with you, or you can't get no work from nowhere from people. He said that does happen in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So
It
he
do.
said. So he told me if I need, he said, once I get to where I need to be, if I need any info, just to hit him. So, but at the end of the day, I think I'll be all right. I think if I keep moving the way I'm moving and get it off my blood, sweat, and tears, I think I'll be all right. Because
And
I
stay
never was,
focused.
huh?
Focus. Focus. Focus.
I never was the type that would like somebody to lay it out the red carpet for me. I never was that type, because I feel like when I put in my work, if I put in the work I need to put in, I'm appreciate it more, and I'm do what I'm gonna need to do and stay focused. So
And
I've
keep
been
it.
doing,
And
yeah, I've
keep
been
it
doing my
safe.
research. I know how the game could be. I've been doing my research. I know how the game could be, and I every day I'm in front of that computer like I was earlier. I'm in front of that computer looking at YouTube, looking at different stuff that happening. Yep, I need to stay away from that. Yep, I don't need to be doing that. I see how this
Mhm.
artist, I see how they talking about him. I know I don't need to stay in the media. I'm gonna be that type of artist that don't. I ain't gonna really want to be in the media. I'm gonna be the type that people gonna know about my music, but they're gonna see less of me.
Right.
So
Yeah, like you've been hiding already.
no,
Yeah.
it's not that I was hiding. It's that when Wendy was hitting me, when
Hmm.
Wendy was hitting me up or whatever, like I made a lot of money over there on Instagram because people might be like, "Yo, Burns, they got a battle for you for like $600." I'm on it. Burns, they
Yeah.
got a song battle that they put you in. I'm on it. Burns, somebody
Mhm.
want to do a verse for verse with you. Set it up. It's for some money. Set it up. So stuff like that. So, but that keeps you still. You ever heard that saying, "Steal, shop, and steal"? So
Mhm.
I did those. I interact with those. Act normally I don't do stuff like that, but I interact with those guys because a lot of those guys got plugs that I don't have. So if I interact with them and they see I'm really good and I'm really humble, they will deal with me and they will give me plugs, or they will look out for me in some sort of manner, just not just not riding a coattail, but just a mutual respect as being an artist and stuff like that. So I interact with them, and like I said, Wendy used to call me. I remember Wendy called me one time. I was in an $800 battle, and she just blowing me up. I'm in the middle of my round rapping, and I'm looking at the phone, the notification. I'm like, and I almost stumble. I almost stumbled because I was trying to read, because you don't never know who trying to call you or who trying to. Because I got family relatives on Facebook too that be tagging me and certain stuff. So I didn't know. So when she mentioned your name, I did. To be honest, I did came and friend request you, and I left. Right after that friend request you, I went straight back to Instagram. I don't think I ever came back to Facebook for a while. And then
Right.
when she texted me, when she inboxed me the last time, I was like, okay, this girl been bothering me for almost 2 months. Let me go see what she's talking about this lady that she was talking about. So, and that's when I happily, coincidence, see how God worked. The same time I came on to come to Facebook, you was in a live. And now look at us
Right.
right now.
That part.
You see how God worked?
He works very good.
God already know that we was gonna have this conversation before
Definitely.
Wendy even told me about you. That's how
Right.
my grandmama say. That's how it works.
Yeah. It do. And it did. It worked. And it worked out pretty good.
It did, and
So
I
yeah.
must lie. we've been on here for, I'm looking at the clock, it's like 3 hours.
3 hours.
So obviously
Yeah.
this been good, but I felt good because the simple fact is that y'all interact with me as far as y'all asking me questions and and we talked about music, we talked about real life, we talked about spiritual, and I really like when the gifted, I really like when she was really like, she put God in the midst of what we was talking about. So overall, to me, I think this was an epic interview because we touched bases on everything, and then we had some God, because a lot of people have interview and don't even mention nothing about God or nothing. They just go straight. They just straight interview status. You know
Cutthroat.
what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. So by her putting God in the midst, that really balanced everything. Cause God know, like my grandma would say, God know good people, God know your heart. So if anybody in that group that's spiritual, God gonna talk through them to put Himself in the center, so we can all vibe like we doing
That's
right
right.
now.
That's right. As we should. And we do it all the time. So anytime you want to get on here and get some of this, you definitely can.
Yo, I'm gonna come on there and get some of that all the time because you always gonna need God. That's my
Yeah,
grandma would tell me. You
definitely.
gonna need God at your darkest moments, and you gonna need God at your highest peak, and in between. You gonna always need Him.
I tell
You
you
gonna
my favorite saying. I'd
Mm,
rather have them and not need them, rather
right.
for me to need them and I don't have them.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
the first.
And let me tell you, every time I got in a situation, I prayed. He always came through for the kid. I call him the big homie.
All
That's why I
the
call him.
time.
I say,
He
wait a
do it
minute,
all
I
the
gotta go
time.
talk to. I say, wait a minute, I gotta go talk.
My phone
When I
died,
say big
y'all. I'm
homie,
going.
when I say big homie, people be thinking I be talking about another guy or something. But when I say, yo, I gotta go talk to the big homie right quick, that means I'm about to go pray or I'm about to go ask God to show me a light on a certain situation. See, a lot of people don't understand that. I call him the big homie.
Right.
When you call somebody the big homie, they're the OG. They got the wisdom, the knowledge, they got everything. And that's why I call him. I call him the big homie.
Well, I love my guy. He's always here. I walk with him, talk with him, listen to him, feel him, all that. He's just in and outside of every last one of us. And we just don't know because we're not paying attention to the right things that we're supposed to be paying attention to. So, with
Yeah.
that being said, it's like, believe in God, definitely. If you don't believe in God, I don't know what you're going to believe in after you don't believe in Him. So, I want to
Let me
know where
ask you,
all your blessings coming from.
all my blessings come from the man who you just state,
That's
God.
right.
Without
That's
him,
right.
I wouldn't have had none of this. I meant to ask you a
Mhm.
question. What was your longest interview you had? Your interviewer you had? How long y'all stayed?
Probably about 5, 6 hours.
Dang, I'ma love coming on here. I'ma love
It's
coming
good.
on here. And if I get
Yeah.
any updates or if I get any I'ma keep in touch with each and every one of y'all as far as like if I get a new breakthrough or if I get a breakthrough that could help, somebody else, y'all gonna be the first one on my list that I'm gonna tap in with to, what I mean, to let y'all know like, yo, they got this going on. If you got an artist that, and I work with any artist that y'all got, and I guarantee you any artist that y'all put me with and we do a song and we come up with a song together, creativity, it's either gonna be a hit or it's gonna be a banger. Cause that's all I write. I focus, I'm past just writing songs. I concentrate on writing hit records. From the beat to the lyrics to the substance to the concept. That's why most of my songs you hear it got the substance is on point. The beat is on point. The way how I ride the beat, my delivery, what I'm talking about, all that counts when you writing a hit record.
Okay.
So anybody y'all put me with, it's gonna be a hit. And I got producers that can cater to anybody that y'all got. And I showed you that yesterday when I was playing them samples, and a lot of guys A lot of guys thought I got those samples off of YouTube, but they ain't noticed that when we was on Facebook and I was playing those samples, we didn't got shut off at all.
Right. Right.
And normally, if you get on there and you play somebody else's song or you even play a sample or something
Yeah.
for more
They're
than
gonna
30
block you.
seconds, or for more than 30 seconds to a minute, they're gonna shut you off. So I
Mm,
just did that just to let dudes know, like, yo, my paper. If I'm playing these tracks, trust me, the paperwork is right,
that
or
part.
I wouldn't be playing.
And it's a
But
lot of artists out there need that because they just going straight to the nitty gritty, and they even did nothing with no papers or nothing. They just looking at
I tell you,
what they saying or what they gonna do.
I tell
You
you
know what I
this,
mean?
I don't know everything about the business, but I guarantee you, if you need to know something that I can't tell you, I bet you give me 2 to 3 hours and I can have that answer for you, because there's certain people that I know that's in the industry that I can reach out to through a mutual friend that could give me that information that could tell you exactly what's going on. Because I know a lot about it. I know a lot about the business side myself, as you can tell by the way I speak. Was talking earlier. Everything I was talking earlier was facts. You can Google everything that I was telling you, from having the label, the legal Zoom thing with the LLC. You can Google my record label right now and will pop up on Google. You can Google my name and it's gonna pop up. It's gonna tell you all the platforms I'm on. It's gonna say Joe. It's gonna say Burnz, uh, uh, artist, the label, Cycle World Record LLC, and they're gonna probably tell y'all from Charleston and so on and so on and so on. So and that's what guys need to understand. Like, you gotta have your stuff If people see that you're not professional or your business is not professional, they're not about to deal with you.
Right.
People wouldn't deal with me if I tell them I had a record. Who has a record label but don't have an LLC? That means you playing. You don't. That means you're. Oh man, I'll be right back.
His phone, everybody phone going dead. Zai, why your eyes looking like that? You sleepy? I ain't hear you. I still can't hear you.
What about now?
There we go. So we're gonna let him come back and then we can end it. Um,
I
yeah.
I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Why? Why? Where you trying to go?
Nowhere.
Okay, so what's the rush? Patience is a virtue. You know that, right?
It is.
Okay. Face.
Huh?
Face. Diva's phone died too.
I just don't want it to cut out on y'all.
Okay, then why you ain't charge it?
It is on the. That's the thing. It is on the charger,
Oh,
and it's steady going down. I don't understand why.
oh. Because you still on it. That's why. I'm
This shit
taking
work
all
whether
the
I'm on it or not.
energy.
That's the crazy
Can
part.
I get some of that energy that you got going on over there that's taking too much power from your phone?
Man, this power on this phone is crazy.
Uh. Robot. Can we
But the
get
marathon most definitely continues.
it? Really do. Yep. Yes, it do. I'm trying to figure out if I want to go out tonight or not. Should I go out or should I stay in?
You couldn't get up on time. I don't think you should go anywhere but right there and party right there in the house.
Man, this third shift have got my body in a different time zone, different date zone, and everything. Because today I thought it was Thursday.
'Cause I had you right where I wanted you when I called you the second time and had you talking.
But I went back to sleep.
You know what? Now
I
you don't know, but I'm gonna tell you.
I apologize. Like, I don't know what's going on with that part, but I just been falling asleep on
Nah, you need
everybody.
to turn that ringer up.
Okay, I love you.
You need to turn that ringer up on that phone.
It is up. It's loud. It's just when I'm asleep, it's over. If it ain't no alarm, I don't know what's
Well,
going
you
on
need
with
to
the.
set an
Oh, you
alarm.
know what? My it was on silent. That's why I jumped up just in time to. Oh man, it been on silent since I was at work this morning.
Regina,
I know I forgot to
how
turn
you
it
want me to
off
call you, but your phone is on silent?
so
Tell me
I
what
could
sense
tell
that
you that you
makes.
didn't call me.
Yes, I did. I blew your phone up.
I know. I'm just saying. I just want to say that because I probably would have said that because you didn't call me.
Well, that's what you get for thinking.
So, sorry
Whatever.
about that, man. My battery had died. I had to fit it on the charger.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that,
our
man.
I
lines is
think
going
that's
low.
everybody. Definitely, that's everybody.
Right. So with
Sorry
that
about
being
that.
said,
But I love this interview today. I definitely want you to come back on. Definitely after this, I want to talk to you because I definitely got a couple things underneath my belt that definitely I feel like we can collaborate on. So
Definitely, and like I said, man, if you got anything going on, or if you got like, let's say you got somebody that need an artist or
we gonna
something like
keep you in the
that,
loop because you stuck with us. Just know that.
or let's say, because I did this for one of my homeboys before. He was like, "Yo, because I did my first project back in 2020 called The Product, and then I did a mixtape in 2021, and off my first project, I helped my homeboy got a deal because the which he didn't last because he wasn't as good as I was on writing songs, but I got him a deal, and it was a single that I had that I wrote when I was in Cali for this guy named Young Maestro. And at the time, the guy who is not now Ty Dollar wasn't Ty Dollar back then. He was Ty Dollar, but he wasn't the person that he was then. So he had that dude singing a hook. So I had to write the song. I wrote the whole song. I still got the video. I couldn't be in the video at the time because they shot the video. I was sitting with the directors, but they shot the video. You see Ty Dollar with the this one. Ty Dollar didn't have no money back then. He was just trying to get on. He only had like a T-shirt with his name written on it, spray paint. But the video they had it when it was sitting. They had naked girls in bikinis sitting by the pool and in the water and stuff. But at the time, I was in a relationship and I wasn't going to disrespect the person I've been with, you know what I'm saying, and to indulge in that. But even though I was part of writing the song, I just wanted to see the video. So I sat with the director and watched the video. And then I did a joint with uh Jada Kiss. I got an intro. I was locked up. They got an intro from him. You know, I got, like I said, I was fortunate to rap in front of some of
can
them
you give us that intro?
what the
Not
Jada
get,
Kiss intro.
yeah, I
Oh,
love
okay.
Jada Kidd.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see.
Sorry, I gotta hear this. I love
Hold
Jada Kidd.
hold on. I'll give y'all, hold on, let me plug this up right quick. All right. Hold on. I could play it for y'all right quick. There's no problem. I always stand on business. Now, anything I say, I always can prove it. Hold on, let me
That
turn my
part.
computer on. Yeah, I always can prove it. That's no
That's
question.
what we like.
Yeah, yeah. I never gonna cap. I never was the type of person that that do that. Yeah, I never
Not
was.
because your voice is so like epic.
Hold on for a second. Hold on for 1 second. Let me turn my.
Go ahead. Oh, that fan feels so good. I love Jada Kiss. Jada, come and get on my platform and sing it. What a gifted diva go.
Is that
No,
a
I
trick
don't.
question?
Hold on, y'all. I'm
If
trying
you
to get.
want to.
Hold on. I'm trying to get my computer on.
Mm-hmm.
I got the computer set up now. I'm about to play the Jada Kiss the Jada Kiss intro and let y'all hear some of the tracks. I got some good tracks, King. Like I got some really good tracks. And she'll tell you.
I can't
She'll
wait to hear him later.
she'll tell you. I stayed on live for an hour and some change playing songs and tracks that I'm about to do for my album. And it's a lot of them she was just rocking to. And I was like, yeah, I got some. Like I like to play my joints. The joints that I'm gonna do, I like for people just to hear the track. Because if a lot of people vibe to the track, then I know what I'm gonna say on it. It's gonna be a no brainer.
Right.
So this is the joint right here that it was a cool joint too. He did the intro. It was like a freestyle. I did like a
Love Trill.
freestyle.
What up, True?
I did like a
You,
freestyle and he blessed me with the hold on, I'm about to play it in 2 minutes. Let me find it right quick. Because a lot of people, like I said, if I tell you I did something or I got somebody on it, a celebrity on it, trust me, I got it. I can play it. I can produce it. I definitely can do that.
Jenny, you should have let him take us out with that.
He definitely can.
All right. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure this is the right one. Let me put it on pause because I want to make it. I'm mute right quick. I want to make sure. I got it. Y'all ready?
Are we ready? So
With that being said, take it away, Gina.
all right, y'all already know I'm Regina, and I'm a radio host and a podcaster, and I do a lot more. So y'all figure that out in the next episode. So definitely, I want everybody to be peace, love, and happiness, and be positive at all times, no matter what comes your way. I love everybody. Thank you very much, Burnz, for coming
Salute.
on my platform and blessing it. I really appreciate it, and definitely
Salute.
you are family and you definitely can come on anytime you want.
Appreciate
Zai. Well, Burns, you go ahead and you let everybody know who you
it.
are, what you do,
Yo,
and your network.
This Burnz. Y'all can catch me on Facebook at Burnz. Y'all can catch me on Instagram at Burnz the God. Y'all can catch me on TikTok at Burnz the God. I got 3 projects about to drop. I got a project called I Am Hip Hop that's dropping in November. Then I got a mixtape dropping right behind that called Burnz, called Burnz Running, SHIT. That's what it stands for. And then at the top of the year, January, I'm coming with my complete LP called Open to the Public. Basically, I'm letting y'all into my world. So
I
salute.
love that. Salute.
And this your boy King's Eye. I want to thank you for coming on our platform.
Appreciate it.
Be you, be true, be positive. I'm not telling you not to have a voice, just know when to use it. Not everything in life deserves a response. You're more than enough. We ain't ready to go, but we got to leave now. We're going to take y'all out with this track. Let's get it. Let's go.
Let's go.
So you already know how we bringing it, how we giving it up. Then it scares. There's a certain percentage of the world that is scares when they see us entering the world of this skate hop. That's what we call hip hop niggas that's rocking the skateboard gear. So this is a skate hop. This is the diamond life, but it's under the skate hop umbrella. And niggas gonna figure it all out in a minute. Music, the fashion, all this shit is gonna start balancing out. You know what I mean? It's nothing but authenticity all the way around the board. Diamond life. Get accustomed to it.
Psycho Wall Records. Burn. We here, baby. South Carolina. Stand the fuck up. Yeah. Visualize, I analyze, I see my life through a vision. Life is a struggle, that's why it's like head on collision. I stepped in the game, I had to play my position. Ever since 98, you know I had the ambition just to blow. Didn't really know it for show. Toe to toe, it's like going blow for blow. Like exit out the back door, I'm letting them know. In the game, my nigga, yo, I'm ready to blow. They knowing my name. Niggas want the money and fame. Coming down like thunder and rain. Nothing to gain, they feeling my pain. Tell me it's my hood to blame. I can't fathom that, my nigga whipping the cane. Up in the kitchen, cause my real niggas missing. So on my mission, gotta stay strong and live it. When friends become foes and foes become friends. Burnz, Chucktown, and chill, we gonna win. Psycho Wall Records. We here, baby. Salute to Jada.
And that's the end of our network. And
Salute,
peace and blessings.
salute.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we out.